As pennant races start to heat up, it's plenty warm here in the DFW as Friday Night Baseball from Arlington, Texas on Apple TV comes to you from Globe Life Field. Presented by Goodyear, it's the Los Angeles Angels and the Texas Rangers. What a stamp Nolan Ryan put on both of these franchises over the years. Right now, the Rangers still live in the AL West. One game behind the Astros for first place. Houston in first, just 500 right now. And the wild card doesn't look much different. Texas alive there, too. We're tied for that third wild card spot with Minnesota and a whole cluster of teams right alongside them. Alongside Doxrell Willis, I'm Wayne Randazzo and D-Train as we get toward the end of the season here. Playoff races heating up and the Texas Rangers trying to be part of it.
Absolutely, and it's very important for the Texas Rangers to get their offense going, especially some of the core of the key guys. If you're the Halos, you're here to play spoiler, and the way they played last night should be a big matchup tonight.
Yeah, the Angels just won 2 out of 3 in Houston, taking their act to Arlington now against a Ranger team that is going to have their schedule toughen up after this series. They go to Chicago to play the White Sox, then Milwaukee, and things don't look easy as they get into September.
Well, you see what the White Sox have done all this season. They've had trouble against the Oakland Athletics, and then you see the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's going to be a daunting task. But like I said in the open, you have to get some of your key players going. One thing is they have a healthy Corey Seager. He is a big game hunter. I love that he's looking finally healthy. He's covering the fastball. He's trying to get better at the breaking ball. But his presence in the lineup is so important moving forward. Brandon Nimmo, one of the best bat-to-ball skillsmen in all of baseball. He's hitting lefties and righties as well. And he's a leader and really a focal point in that locker room. Have to have him. This is my favorite Ranger out of the whole locker room, Duran. Everything he does, he's the Swiss Army knife, the bat-to-ball skills, the occasion power. They got to get him in a situation to get more RBIs, but those are the key guys they got to get going right now.
Ezekiel Duran calls himself the solution, and he certainly has been for the Rangers so far this year. Facing an Angels team here this weekend that, of course, has a first ballot Hall of Famer, the 3-time MVP, Mike Trout, now 16 seasons as an Angel. He means everything to this franchise.
Absolutely everything to that region, that franchise, multiple MVPs. You're always comfortable when you see 2-7 in center field, in the outfield, and just having that presence. And he looks healthy, resurgent. You know you can't throw that ball down in the zone because you're not going to get that baseball back. But his power numbers against, especially the Texas Rangers, they know him a little too well, and they're going to try to shut him down today. But you want to talk about base running, power, the complete package, man. The only thing stopped it was injuries because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer regardless of all those numbers. He is truly fun to watch. And I know you know somebody inside that locker room to get me a free signed jersey because when it's all said and done, you look at those numbers, Weezy, look who he's compared to. Some of the best that have ever done it in baseball. Truly fun to watch.
Every list with Mike Trout includes him with the Titans of the game, and this one no different. 400+ homers and 200+ stolen bases with the Angels. He's 10 for 10 in stolen bases this year. Now at 35 years old, Mike Trout still is a focal front for this Halo ball club. So is Zach Neto, coming off a career night yesterday with 5 hits and 7 RBIs against the Houston Astros. It'll be Heidi Watney sitting down with Neto in just a moment.
On that burger.
To California Spectacular.
What a swing for Trout.
Corey Seager, he's back.
That one was absolutely pulverized.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. And welcome back to Globe Life Field, where the Texas heat isn't the only thing scorching here in Arlington. The Angels put up 18 runs on division foe Houston last night. Is this a turning point for the organization? The organization does seem to be trending in the right direction, bringing in interim GM John Mozeliak. It was a stunning move to fire their GM Perry Managian, but after a disappointing start to the season in the first half, the Angels felt like a new voice was needed. Mozeliak orchestrated the most active trade deadline the Angels have seen in years, trading 7 players off the MLB roster, including players who still had years of control, in order to bolster what was one of the worst-ranked farm systems in baseball. The Angels were ranked 28th at the start of the season. They jumped to 17th after the trade deadline, and one of the players who didn't get moved, shortstop Zach Neto. He had the best offensive night of his career last night. 5 hits, 7 RBI in the Angels' 18-3 win over Houston. Neto tied the Halos record for the most RBI by a shortstop, which was set by Freddie Patek all the way back in 1980. Zach joins me now. I hope you saved some of those hits for tonight. A 7 RBI night. What got into the bat, and how do you carry that momentum over here tonight, Zach?
Yeah, just flushing in, getting over today, you know, nice and comfortable, being up there in the box and being aggressive. I think that's the most important thing, and just not missing my pitch to hit.
Zach, a lot of change in this organization from all the way to the top of the GM to in the dugout with coaches and even players at the trade deadline. What's the message moving forward, and how do you, as a leader on that team, help impart that message?
Keep believing in each other. You know, we have changes everywhere else, but in that clubhouse, like I said since spring training, I think that's the best clubhouse I've had in my whole career, and just maintaining that, I think is pretty special, and you know, just kind of trying to lead by action and motivate these guys to come out every single day and win.
All right, thanks, Zach. And Players Weekend here. What special gear do we have?
It's my most expensive Pokemon card, so I got it on my shoe. You know, it's Pikachu, and you know, hopefully it gives me some power tonight. Yeah.
All right, we got to showcase the fun. Thank you so much, Zach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Zach Neto and the Angels against Mackenzie Gore and the Rangers. We'll be back right after this quick break.
Welcome back. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear with Dontrell Willis and Heidi Watney. I'm Wayne Randazzo. We're at Globe Life Field here in Arlington, Texas, where the Angels and Rangers meet for the last time this season. The Angels have won 7 of the 10 games so far against Texas, most of that coming at Angels Stadium, where the Halos were 6-1 against Texas this year. The Rangers have at least played better at home against their divisional opponents. They'll try to do that against the Angels here this weekend. Jake Berger has been one of the offensive leaders for the Rangers this year, as he is standing by right now before taking the field with Heidi Watney.
Yeah, here with Jake Berger, and it's Players Weekend, so you get to showcase the things that are near and dear to your heart. And this bat might be my favorite bat I've ever seen. It's for your daughter. Tell me about it.
Yeah, no, it's for our daughter Penelope. She was born with Down syndrome about 2 years ago, and you know, it's for our foundation that we made in honor of her and supporting the community. And my favorite part is Down syndrome is cool at the top. So the poppy flowers are beautiful as well.
I love that players get to talk about what's important to them. All right, what's important to this team right now? You guys are 1 game back in the division. You're right on the cusp of the wild card. What needs to happen in this next couple months?
As far as we're concerned, we're 0-0 starting today. You know, give it our all the way to the end and keep trusting each other in this clubhouse.
All right, they're waiting for you out there, Jake.
Thank you.
Now, they needed the first baseman to take the warm-ups, you know.
Very important position and a very important guy in that locker room. You know, you hear nothing but great things about him regardless of what locker room he's in. But you want to talk about the focal point of that offense along with Seager and company. He needs to continue to just be that presence.
Well, Mackenzie Gore had a rough month of July. He's been a lot better so far in August. Very talented left-hander, making his 27th start.
You know, he's pitched better at home, has a 3.2 ERA at home, a 5.6 on the road. You want to talk about velocity. That will be a key because he needs to get to that changeup as well.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. How Mackenzie Gore goes about it. You know, that four-seam fastball is what he lives through. That changeup really should be the secondary go-to pitch for him, along with that curveball.
Yeah, talking to Skip Schumacher, he likes to see him get swing and miss at the top of the zone and then use that changeup to slow the hitter down and get soft contact at the bottom of the zone. Occasionally change eye level with that breaking ball, but very important to get ahead and stay ahead and keep all of a sudden overnight this high-powered Halo offense in the yard today.
Yeah, 18 runs for the Angels yesterday. The Car Shield pitcher scouting report on Gore. We showed you how heavily he leans on that fastball. He's been traded a couple of times. He was part of the Juan Soto deal going from San Diego, the team that drafted him, to Washington. The Nationals got a bunch of prospects this past offseason from the Texas Rangers to get Mackenzie Gore in Texas, where he joins Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi in a rotation that is built to win. And the Rangers haven't won enough, at least not yet this year. Only 2 games under 500. But that leaves them 1 game out of first place in the AL West. It puts them right in the middle of the wild card race. So Here we are with the Rangers 5 weeks and change left, trying to make it to the postseason. Zach Neto leads it off tonight, and the first pitch is caught on and missed. It's 0-1.
You know what? Zach Neto always talks about being aggressive, and he's hunting the fastball early. Excellent call by Gore to slow him down with that changeup first pitch.
Neto has seen a lot of that, especially when he has been leading off over the last month or so. He's been in the cleanup spot quite a bit lately. He was there yesterday when he tied the Angel franchise record for the most RBIs in a game by a shortstop. He had 7, tying Freddie Patek, who had a 7 RBI game at Fenway Park in 1980.
Well, Alex Bregman in the Cubs uniform said swing less. Neto's thinking the opposite right now. He's going to hunt, and he's been attacking zone all around. And that's why the chase rate has gone up. The strikeout rate has gone up. But if you make a mistake, especially belt high, you're not getting that baseball back.
Especially here at Globe Life Field. 13 extra base hits lifetime. A .362 hitter in this ballpark, which has been notoriously tough to hit in over the last few seasons, but not for Zach Neto.
Yeah, you know I'm a huge fan. Mr. Miami himself, a 305, and somebody you can really trust and build, not only at the shortstop position, but offensively at the top of the lineup as well.
Pitch in the dirt from Mackenzie Gore.
Timeout.
And Neto
like
seems
hit
to
him.
believe hit him. Yeah, he's pointing into the Angel dugout to say to check this. Home plate umpire Andy Fletcher is also the crew chief. Hit him right in the Pikachu. Or did it? I don't know. We'll see. The Angels are not going to challenge. So whatever Neto thought he felt, he apparently did not feel.
Yeah, Gore tried to go with the slider down and in and try to get under that barrel.
Looking for that Pikachu power here on Players Weekend. 2-2 on Neto, and a liner toward the left side is through. A base hit past Corey Seager. So the Angels leadoff batter is on to start the game. It's a base hit for Zach Neto. BetMGM gives us the rest of the Angels batting order with future Hall of Famer Mike Trout hitting in the number 2 hole. 49 career home runs against the Texas Rangers. Only Reggie Jackson has ever hit more against this franchise. Moises Ballesteros, one of the new players that came over during the trade deadline, batting behind Trout in the 3 hole tonight. Trout homered off Mackenzie Gore just a week and a half ago. The Rangers were at Angel Stadium, a series in which the Angels won 3 out of 4. Trout took Gore deep in that game. He's only hit a couple of home runs since coming back from the injured list, where he had a hamstring injury that didn't keep him out long. It's been a relatively healthy year for Mike Trout.
Got a chance to talk to him about this, how his training regimen in the winter was a little bit different, to make sure that he's a little lighter on his feet, make sure he has his lower half to be able to, regardless if you have him in the outfield, but just have power. And then, you know, he had that big series in New York early in the season, and it's like, uh-oh, this is going to be scary hours again for the future first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, he's 35 years old now, just turned a couple of weeks ago, as Neto takes a big lead off first, held on by Berger. We showed you the list earlier. 20 homers and 10 steals in the American League. It's a bunch of young guys. Gunnar Henderson, Zach Neto, Miguel Vargas from the White Sox, and then the 35-year-old Trout.
I love that the threat of running Neto has sped up Gore, and all of a sudden,
That ball's blasted straight away center field. Moving back for it is Carter. It's a big ballpark, and that ball just did not carry as Mike Trout sends it to the edge of the warning track. It was 102 miles an hour off the bat. How come it didn't travel?
You want to talk about old man having a green light? That was a young green light. 3-0, worked himself in the count and knew he was going to get a fastball center cut. Just got a hair on that label. I mean, I think he's at an age right now where he said, back in my day, you're not getting that baseball back, young man.
Well, the Texas Rangers are probably thinking, well, see, I told you it's not easy to hit in this ballpark. As Moises Ballesteros takes a strike. That was 102 miles an hour off the bat, and yet it died not even quite to the warning track in center field.
You know, I don't know how many meetings we've had with Skip Schumacher trying to find that golden formula, what's going on with this ballpark. Sometimes the ball flies, sometimes it doesn't.
A lot of times it doesn't, and really hasn't since the 2023 World Series. That Ranger team that year was hitting the ball all over the place in this yard. You can see Trout kind of in amazement. The ball did not go further than it did. Pitch in the dirt to Ballesteros. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Angels picked up Moises Ballesteros from the Cubs at the trade deadline when Ryan Zefferjon, hard-throwing reliever, went to Chicago. Ballesteros, one-time top prospect in the Cubs organization. A great start to his season, but then cooled off considerably. Went to AAA. As a big leaguer for the Angels, hasn't done much until yesterday. He had a couple of hits, including his first extra base hit, but he strikes out here. And Mackenzie Gore, just like we'll see from Reed Detmers tonight, can certainly rack up the strikeouts. That's his first today.
Yeah, you're starting to see that he's getting that tilt to that lefty on lefty slider, and had a really good late action. Ballesteros not recognizing that pitch mid-flight. That's going to be the scouting report that Ballesteros likes to expand the zone, especially when you get ahead, but excellent sequence by Gore.
Gore is 8th in the American League in strikeouts. Reed Detmers is 4th. So both of these lefties extremely talented, both about the same age, both first-round picks, and both still have a ceiling that has yet to be fully reached. 2 outs and a runner on first. Here is Vaughn Grissom playing first base today. Normally, the Angels' first baseman is Nolan Shonowell, another South Floridian who got to meet one of his 2003 Marlins heroes today.
I had to tell him to tell his parents thank you for bringing a small Nolan Shonowell to the ball game in that heat. So definitely going to hook him up with something out of the garage, because you always got to take care of the few true Marlins fans, and it might have been called Joe Robbie back in the day. It's had multiple names, but to be able to go to that ballpark and watch my tired act, God bless him.
And Neto has been there plenty of times too, a Miami native, as he has still a big lead at first. Vaughn Grissom comes up empty on a 2-0 fastball.
All 7 of Grissom's home runs have come off right-handed pitching this season, but got himself in a friendly hitter's count and tried to leave earth.
Does have 50 runs batted in on the season, does Grissom. Really the first big opportunity he's had to play semi-regularly at the major league level. Came up in the Atlanta system, ended up in Boston in the Chris Sale trade, and never really got a lot of playing time in either place. He has as an Angel. As you see Gore touch the inside corner there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grissom takes ball 3.
After the way Grissom took that fastball in a half, you're having a feeling that he's looking out. You're Gore, you're trying to go in.
It's ball 4. It was in and maybe up as Mackenzie Gore issues a 2-out walk. Ball is pretty close to the top edge of the strike zone. Grissom is on. Neto goes to second base, and now Jose Siri will be the batter.
That's close.
It would have been a strike had Texas challenged. Well, actually, Texas did challenge. Who challenged it? The pitcher? Rangers challenge powered by T-Mobile, and it is strike 3. So I don't know where that challenge came from. I think maybe the pitcher, Mackenzie Gore, winks back at Elias Diaz, the catcher, after a correct challenge ends the inning. It was the pitcher.
And Gore said, I don't know, we'll see. He gave him a little wink before that. Dinner's on you.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
And a good season with only 4 wins notwithstanding. A 1.83 ERA since the All-Star break. The 4th most strikeouts in the American League. 167, just 1 shy of his career high. facing Justin Foscue leading off for the Rangers. Delivers ball 1.
Yeah, he's also 4th in baseball and opponent average as well, and he's been absolutely excellent since the All-Star break. Talked about that with the pitch and breakdown. Very important for him to be able to get ahead with that fastball to get to that slider.
He's had so many superb outings. It's tough to pick his best one. 2 balls, no strikes on Foscue. His last start, 2 hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts, no walks, 8 innings against the Royals. That's a pretty good one, but he maybe even had a better one against the Rangers back in May, in which he allowed a home run to Berger, but that was the only hit. No walks, 14 strikeouts.
You know, I got a chance to see him over the last couple of seasons, and you see of late the mound presence because of the confidence. He believes in his stuff. He believes in working at his right pace, and also how he's preparing himself. This fits his mentality, so you're seeing that starting to really translate into what they've all hoped that he would be.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Foscue, who is the designated hitter today. See that 207 average allowed by Reed Detmers this year. And he's been awfully good since the All-Star break, especially with that 183 ERA. Foscue able to hold his swing.
Well, sometimes the hitter is like, I can't cover that. That is too nasty out of the hitting zone, and so excellent take.
Count is full now, 3-2, and it's ball 4. So Foscue ends up drawing a leadoff walk. So he tries to set the table atop the Texas order, brought to you by BetMGM. With Corey Seager hitting second, Seager has worn out the Angels since becoming a Texas Ranger. Wyatt Langford has struggled of late. Brandon Nimmo has picked up the slack for the Rangers as he bats in the cleanup spot. So here is Seager. You know he's going to be active on that first pitch most of the time. Well, that time he lays off ball 1.
328 over his last 17 ball games since returning with 7 extra base hits. So he's more looking like himself. Just needs to cover the breaking ball a little bit better.
Just needs to stay off the injured list. He's been on it 3 times this year. Wyatt Langford's been on a couple of times as well on deck. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Rangers have dealt with injuries on and off all year. Josh Young is on the IL right now. So is Evaldi. They're trying to have a healthy enough unit to really make a run here in the last 5+ weeks of the season. 2 balls, no strikes on Seager. That's right in there from Detmers. It's 2-1.
Trying to get a feel of Detmers right now. Seager taking that fastball. It will not take a second.
It's a foul tip for strike 2 on a fastball from Reed Detmers. 2-2. So the injured Rangers, those are the guys currently out, including Jack Leiter, who is rehabbing his way back. Seager with a fly ball center field. This is struck well. Trout's back for it all the way near the wall. He makes the catch up near the fence. A leaping grab by Trout as Seager flies out to almost the same spot Trout did in the top of the first.
You see why he's one of the best to ever do it. As soon as that ball was hit, he gave a glance to see how much room he had. Seager got on top of that fastball. Thought he was going to be able to land the extra bases, but hit it to the wrong individual and even had to crack a smile. Has his right arm out and times that jump perfectly.
Well, the exit velocities were remarkably similar. 102 for Trout's fly ball in the top of the first, and 102.4 for this one off the bat of Seager. Well, Seager's went a bit deeper, and Trout was able to corral it nearer the fence to take extra bases away. Nicely done by Trout. Now Wyatt Langford with the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Detmers bends in that slider to make it 1 ball, 1 strike.
Langford hitting 145, and this with 2 RBIs over his last 17 ball games. So when you look at this offense, why they're struggling, he's a key component. That's someone that can hit for power and run the bases very well.
Skip Schumacher says sometimes hitters get into slumps and they feel like they need to get 3 hits in 1 at bat.
I love that analogy because that's a real feeling of how you go out there instead of just trying to focus on getting quality at bats. And he said when he saw Langford walk 3 times, he was more proud of him than trying to hit out of it, because that tells me that you have a game plan and you're sticking to that game plan and you're not trying to chase out of zone to create.
1-2 and a ground ball to third. Scooped by Denzer Guzman. Over to second for 1. Return throw to first. 2. A double play. Angels go around the horn and play some good defense in the bottom of the first, including Mike Trout going way back on a fly ball off the bat of Corey Seager. A nice grab on the warning track to help along a scoreless first. Apple TV presented by Goodyear. Top of the second at Globe Life Field. Both starters working a scoreless first. Mackenzie Gore with a challenge of his own on the last pitch of the inning.
You know what, Wayne? I know you like to get on the pitchers and not being allowed to challenge, but he had a feel about that breaking ball catching the top of the zone, and really a huge call to get him out of that inning.
You're just really on one today with a left-handed pitcher for Gore and a left-handed pitcher, Detmers.
I love it.
Squaring off here tonight.
I love it.
This is a left-handed hurler's dream. 2 guys are really good out there, and have both racked up a ton of strikeouts this season. Gore with 2 strikeouts in the top of the first. Detmers hasn't gotten on the board yet. The strikeout column, but each put up a 0.
I also like that they're familiar. They've faced each other a couple times already this season, and so you go into that matchup knowing that, hey, I know the other side's going to bring it, and I got to step up and go pitch for him.
Jose Siri leads off here in the top of the second. Siri has been with a few different teams over the years, but quite a character to have around. He's a nice player for the Angels since coming over.
Excellent sprint speed, does have some power. If he gets you, he gonna let you know.
He's a flashy guy.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just back it up. Just back it up.
1 ball, 2 strikes. As you see, Kurt Suzuki, longtime Major League catcher, in his first year as manager of the Angels. Working diligently with John Mozeliak, who has taken over as interim GM. Trying to get the Angels back up into a situation where they can contend for playoff spots. It's been a long time now for this organization. John Mozeliak, certainly quite a pedigree coming over from St. Louis. Looking to build these Angels back up as Siri rolls one through, and it's a leadoff single here in the second.
Siri flying around first base trying to force a throw, but if you look at the organization of the Angels, they have struggled, especially in the farm system. This is a changeup down in the zone. Siri doing a good job of just putting it back to the ball. Almost hopped over first. So let's go, guys.
Just coming through the curtain.
Yeah, hey. I told you got to back it up. But back to the organization, very important. The first thing I noticed was some big prospects, and you need some of that, especially if you want to build a system and build a different type of culture. That's what the Cardinals did for a very long time, and that's why, if you talk about John Mozeliak, he had consistency in knowing what the talent was going to be coming up, as well as the veterans. And you have 15 in a row winning seasons. You don't just fall out of bed and do that.
Denzer Guzman swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's about implementing a culture that is deep through the entire system, not just at the major league level. You have to build that up, as Mozeliak says, from the ground up. 1 ball and 1 strike on Guzman. Wave through that fastball as it ran away from him. Well, a lot of rankings have changed as far as the Angels farm system goes since the draft, since the trade deadline. John Mozeliak taking over the Angels only a few weeks before the draft. As Guzman swings through another fastball, Mackenzie Gore has his 3rd strikeout. That's 1 out here in the second inning.
Gore, because of the way he makes his adjustment when somebody's on first base, it's a slide step, so that fastball comes out, and that first 10 feet has a lot of life and gets on top of you very quickly.
1 out. The batter is Josh Lowe, who's been swinging the bat well lately. Well, not necessarily that pink and green bat that he has going right now. Look at that thing.
I kind of like it. Feels Miami to me.
Siri, the runner at first base, no balls and a strike.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
low.
just it in.
Keep that pink and green bat from going through the strike zone. It's 0-2. A couple of homers in the last 9 games for Lowe. He's hit .321. What has otherwise been a trying year for him offensively. Batting .213 overall. It's 1-2 on Lowe.
Gore likes to throw that straight fastball. Has been throwing a sinker to try to make the lefty on lefty matchup more favorable for him. But ultimately, he wants to get to that slider or that changeup.
He's not thrown changeups to left-handed batters. He relies on the breaking stuff more to lefties. Well, that changeup's been so effective, the Rangers wouldn't mind him using it even more than he already has. There goes the runner as Lowe fouls one back.
Excellent jump by Siri.
Mackenzie Gore only throws that changeup about 12% of the time overall, but opponents have only hit 147 against it.
Well, that's tough on the lefty on lefty changeup, because if you feel you get on the side of the baseball, now it doesn't have the sharpness of the break of the slider, so it feels and plays like a bad fastball. So if you're going to throw that changeup, you got to bounce it, especially lefty on lefty.
As Lowe punches one foul out of play, another slider from Gore. Well, they think there has to be some variation in terms of, at least the fastball, throwing a second type of fastball, something to get lefties to look in a different spot, because left-handers have actually had more success than right-handers this year against Gore. Siri's running again. Throw down to second. Siri safe. Almost like a pitch out. Diaz with a strong arm that throws a little high, and Siri beat the tag.
First move, once again, he looks in, and those last 5 steps, he was excellent, being able to get down and get to that bag as quickly as possible, because Diaz had an excellent pop time and throw to make it close.
5 stolen bases now for Siri on the year. Something the Angels have done more of recently, pushing the envelope a bit. 70 stolen bases as a team. They've had 13 of them, actually 14 of them now in the month of August.
Good pitch. Ball is looking out over the plate. That's why it's getting harder, especially for Gore, to be able to get him to chase. And then all of a sudden, this is a fastball barreling down, 4-seamer. But the action is tailing in, and it tied him up good.
Long at bat here for Josh Lowe. He's had a few of those this year and have gotten into 10 pitches or more. He's up to number 9 with the next one from Mackenzie Gore, and the count 2 balls 2 strikes. Sliders and 4-seamers here from Gore to Lowe, and it's elongated the at bat. This is part of the reason why Mackenzie Gore doesn't typically go very deep into games. Lowe hits it hard, and it is a diving stop by Cody Freeman, who gets the out at first. What a play by Freeman. He saves a run for now.
Excellent timing of that dive by Freeman. Pops himself up. Fires an absolute missile to Berger. And that's my guy. I appreciate you, because that's absolutely a run scored, especially with Siri running.
2 outs, and now Travis d'Arnaud stands in. Veteran catcher. It's a high pop fly to shallow center. So Cody Freeman ends up saving that run. A diving stop to take a base hit away from Josh Lowe. The Angels leave Siri at third.
Scouting report presented by Card Shield. Reed Detmers has been dominant in his 6 starts since the All-Star break. He's got got a 1.83 ERA in that span. And it coincides with his increased use of technology like TrackMan to help chart his bullpens, analyze his pitch shapes, his biomechanics. The Angels pitching coaches at the start of the season, led by Mike Maddox, didn't fully embrace the use of the technology available, which is what led Angels interim GM John Mozeliak to make a change there. For their part, Angels starters as a whole, a 2.53 ERA in August. That's good for second best in MLB, Wayne.
Yeah, the Angels pitching staff has really been good lately. And ever since the change of the pitching coaches, it's a 2.02 ERA overall for the staff dating back over the last week and a half. So it's still a small sample size, but that has certainly changed things from the Angels' perspective. As Brandon Nimmo's bouncing ball to Oswald Peraza at second base. And there's one out here in the bottom of the second.
It's very important to have a balance of nuance, but this is how this group and this generation learns, by being on the TrackMan. It's not just in baseball, but it's also in golf. I've hurt myself in golf swings on that TrackMan more than I've ever done pitching. So this is how they collect their data, being able to know how to move properly and have that feel. So you have to kind of buy into that situation if you want to get the best out of this current generation.
I feel like it would have helped you as you went along in your career, that maybe if you had some more of those biometrics and analytics and things that would have allowed you to kind of change things as you went along in your career, as the struggles started to set in. I feel like you maybe be able to pitch out a little.
1,000%. And, you know, and that option wasn't there. That technology really wasn't there. It was more of a feel, and it's like, well, I feel like I'm walking 8 guys, but that's not going to help me make an adjustment out there. You know what I mean? So 1,000%. So because now that I'm a dad golfer, I'm on that TrackMan more than I'm on anything else, and so. I agree with that 1,000%, but it's also how, you know, and I love this manager meeting with Suzuki today because he came up in our era, but he also is someone that is very well thought out, very prepared, especially coming from the background. And it felt like, for me, listening to him, he was very comfortable gathering all that information in that process in that way.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Ezekiel Duran. It's an interesting situation for Kurt Suzuki to come into this year with a GM in Perry Manassian that was in the final year of his deal, and now John Mozeliak, an interim, and not a great relationship. I shouldn't say not a great relationship, just not much of a known relationship between the two when they met. Really, now as working together, they didn't work together while Suzuki was playing at any point. Suzuki was never a Cardinal, so they're kind of getting to know each other and going along with this while Kurt Suzuki has his own contract status hanging over his head too. Here's a fly ball to left and base hit for Ezekiel Duran. It's the first hit for the Rangers. We know that stability is often talked about around Major League Baseball, and finding that stability is important. Well, the Angels are a good example of it. Look at the stability that Mike Scioscia brought to the organization.
You know what? After a while, and I thank God that I had a chance to play against him. I mean, that's how much he was a presence, not only this in the locker room, but around a baseball. And so, how you're running spring training, how the expectation coming into the locker room as a player and as a coach when you're a manager. He's learning all of these, if you're Kurt Suzuki, from the fly, and so it's almost like a auditioning when you bring in a new GM and a new president and say, hey, I want a chance to be able to right the ship.
Here's Jake Berger fouling it off, but it's an opportunity here for Kurt Suzuki over the last couple of months to establish himself as a major league manager. And as John Mozeliak talked about it at the trade deadline, it's an opportunity for the Angels to start to figure out what their identity needs to be moving forward. So far in the month of August, it seems they've made a lot of that opportunity. They're 9-9. They're pitching really well. And we'll see if the offense can start to catch up. It certainly did yesterday when they scored 18 runs. There is the first strikeout tonight for Reed Detmers as Jake Berger is down on strikes.
Yeah, being able to get to that nasty slider down and in, especially to the right-handed batter. There's no better feeling than a lefty that you know you can have the right grip and throw that baseball with a conviction, because the hitter sees the tunnel of that fastball, and then the last 5 feet it dives out, and there's nothing that a hitter can do to hold up.
2 outs as Cody Freeman stands in. He looks at strike 1 from Detmers on a slider. Freeman playing second base. It wasn't that way in the original lineup. Rangers moved some guys around positionally. Here's a bunt. Detmer's near the line, has to play it quickly, and a strike to first to end the inning. Really good play by Reed Detmers fielding that bunt. He fired that ball to get the out. We'll talk to Brandon Nimmo live from right field in the top of the third. Pleased to be joined here in the top of the third by Rangers right fielder Brandon Nimmo. Signed a long contract with the Mets after the 2022 season, and now is a Texas Ranger after being traded for Marcus Semien, who was part of that World Series team a few years ago for the Rangers. And Brandon, thanks a lot for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This is it's a good atmosphere down here tonight, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun being over here. You spoke of the trade, and everybody's been really great, making this an awesome place for me to try and do my best and help the team win. So it's been a good transition over here.
Skip Schumacher said you've developed into a leader for this ball club. How was that for you, coming over from a team where you'd been forever to now establish yourself as a leader in your first year here?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of what they asked me to do when I came over. I was use some of the experience. Oh, we might get a ball. Attaboy, free!
Way to stay out of it, huh, Brandon? Way to stay out of it.
There we go. Attaboy, free! Great play. No, you got that. That was great. But no, when I came over here, you know, they were like, hey, you've got a lot of great experience, and we would love for you to use it and help some of our younger guys like Wyatt and Carter. And it's been a lot of fun getting to know these guys and trying to take on that leadership role. But you know, for me, I just try and not act like I have everything figured out. I have been through a lot in this game, and I had some great mentors with Curtis Granderson and David Wright and Jay Bruce, and just try and pass along some of the stuff that they've taught me and has allowed me to enjoy a long career here. And you know, it's not the same for everyone, but there are some basics that you can pass on to the next generation and try and help them to succeed. But I appreciate Skip saying that, and you know, it's been a good time with these guys. They're great ball players over here.
Brandon, Jacob deGrom, he says he doesn't want to leave. What shock waves does that move into the locker room when you guys have a chance to get into the playoff fold?
Yeah, you know, everybody started calling him the general after, because you know, we made him the top, the highest priority and the highest rank, because it really just speaks to the fact that he thinks that this team has what it takes in order to get to the playoffs, not just get to the playoffs, but succeed in the playoffs. And you know, for me, I think it speaks a lot of confidence into these guys and this team. And you know, I think it speaks to his character and what he thinks of what he can do in order to help this team reach its potential. So I've known Jake a long time, and he is an awesome pitcher. We all know that. In my opinion, I think he's a Hall of Fame pitcher. But he's also an amazing human being, and he leads behind the scenes, and you know, he does a really good job of that. And this is just one more example of that, and it really sent a message to the team that he wanted to stay here and win here.
Brandon,
man,
wish we had more time, but thanks a lot.
I can get on with you guys more often. That was a quick inning.
It is time now for the home field advantage presented by Zillow. You guys mentioned how Globe Life Field has changed from a hitter's park to a pitcher paradise, back to being hitter friendly. The team has studied it. They can't figure out why. But one thing we know, the last 34 games, the team has made it their home sweet home when it comes to offense. They're averaging nearly 5 runs a game at home with 52 long balls. Two players really loving that home cooking. Brandon Nimmo, who we just talked to, and Ezekiel Duran. They've combined for 24 extra base hits over their last 20 home games, guys.
Well, now they need to try to figure out what's happened to them on the road, because they're 6-17 on the road against the American League West. They lost 6 out of 7 at Angel Stadium. They didn't play all that well in Sacramento against the A's, who are in last place right now in the division. And the Rangers have yet to use their schedule to their advantage in terms of beefing up their record.
We were here a couple weeks ago and we talked about this was a situation that they had to take advantage of the next 14 days, and they did not. And so now when we talked about in the open, their schedule is going to get daunting with other ball clubs that are fighting to try to get in the playoff fold as well. So they got to figure out this offense quickly before they get on the road.
Rangers did not score much at Angel Stadium last week. We talked about how the Angels pitching has been a lot better lately. Only 8 runs for Texas against the Angels at the Big A last week in a 4-game series, and they've yet to score so far tonight against Detmers. It was ahead of Elias Diaz, 1 ball and 2 strikes. This one is popped up toward the right side in foul ground. Grissom is over, and he makes the catch to retire Diaz. 1 out here in the 3rd. Rare game in the gray jerseys for the Angels. Both teams can't wear red. It's the City Connect night for the Texas Rangers. So the Halos in their gray tops for only the 6th time all season.
I like them.
I love them. I wish they wear them all the time. Here is Evan Carter as he bats with 1 out here in the 3rd. Swing and a miss.
I also like when that California Angel one with the the no belt loop. That's the one right there.
They had their throwback week a couple of weeks ago at Angel Stadium and wore those old style California Angel uniforms. They were very sharp. Bouncing ball off the bat of Carter and an easy out as Peraza retires him. 2 up, 2 down. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. Very impressive arsenal of the lefty Reed Detmers.
Yeah, a lot like Gore. He has a mid-90s fastball, but the slider and really the occasional curveball is excellent, especially when he gets a feel of that slider down. You already seeing a swing and miss down in the zone. When he wants to finish hitters, he'll go to that slider.
Already 5 outs on the ground today for Detmers. Not a hugely high ground ball rate for the year. Normally he's striking guys out. Just 1 punch out first time through the order today. And Detmers has a chance to be the first Angels lefty since Chuck Finley to have a 200 strikeout season. It's off the plate to Justin Foscue, who walked his first time. Foscue has crushed lefties this year, while Jock Peterson has hammered righties. So it's a good DH combo for the Rangers. Foscue leading off today, and I'm sure we'll see Peterson once a righty comes in from the Angels side. 2 balls and a strike.
Foscue hitting .315 with 6 home runs versus lefties this season, so they have a nice little tandem. Peterson and Foscue.
Balls and 2 strikes now on Foscue. Former first-round pick. A tough time a couple of years ago, but he has started to adjust to major league pitching, especially left-handed major league pitching. He's hit over 300 against lefties this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Foscue. That's in there. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Detmers has his first 1-2-3 inning, and it's scoreless after 3.
And time now for a Sage manager interview here with Skip Schumacher. You guys have been hovering around $500. What do you guys need to do to really put the pedal to the metal these last 5 weeks?
I think we just got to get our offense going a little bit. Our pitching is stabilized. Getting Evo back here in a couple weeks, we hope, fingers crossed. And just the health component, Wyatt back, Seager back now has really helped.
Mackenzie Gore putting up zeros here tonight. What do you need from him to continue his development?
You know, he's pitching really well at the top of the zone right now with his fastball. The changeup has been really effective tonight, and the slider underneath the barrel. So on the attack, we want him on the attack and not nibbling, and I think that's when he's at his best.
All right, thanks, Skip.
Thank you.
Here's some of that sweet mariachi music.
Every Friday we hear they jamming. We need to go over there. I just want a hat. I just want the mariachi hat. That's all I want.
And the band there.
That's all I want.
Matching the City Connects.
Clean. Clean.
It's a party here on Friday nights.
It really is. I mean, the environment, the food, everything you want in the big league ball game.
We're supposed to get some nachos later.
Don't do that. You know what happened last time we were on air in the nachos. I took an inning off.
They see that the one with the sombrero nachos. We're supposed to get that up here.
Don't talk to me.
So grounded at first from Moises Ballesteros. Berger flips to Gore. One time you see a Berger doing the flipping instead of being flipped.
Hey, you're all week, folks. At Texas Live. You're all week.
Yeah. One out here in the fourth as Vaughn Grissom bats. It's been funny in the matchups between Mackenzie Gore and Reed Detmers this year. It's the third time they faced each other, and both times they have pitched extremely well against one another. And then in the times that they have faced these two teams without facing each other, neither pitched well. So maybe they're kind of steel sharpening steel over there.
I love it. You know, lefties want to earn respect. You know, and especially a familiar foe, same division. And after that second matchup, you're like, this is fun, man. You know, you bring the best out of it. I remember getting a chance to lock up with Roy Oswalt. I know he's an Astro, but, you know, you knew you had to go out there pitch by pitch and set up. And Tom Glavine, I got a chance to face him a bunch. He is the only broken bat that I've had against him. He made me sign as a Hall of Famer. He made me sign that bat, but he definitely brought the best out of me and vice versa.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Grissom. When they weren't matched up against each other, Gore faced the Angels in a game where he got knocked around here in Texas, allowed 7 runs on July 8th, and the next day Detmers pitched against them, and he allowed just 5 runs. So here's Gore hitting Grissom with a pitch as the Angels get a base runner.
On that fastball, you're trying to drive it and make sure it doesn't leak over the heart of the plate. Just overcooked it.
So the Angels' Wade Meckler got hit in the head by a pitch yesterday, and he's still in the concussion protocol today. It was a scary looking hit batsman last night in Houston for the Angels. Here's Jose Siri playing left field today. Meckler's played a lot of late. Had a base hit and a stolen base his last time. Ball, 1 strike on Jose Siri.
Siri does have some power, especially middle in.
Fastball. It's had some good ride to it tonight.
Also the slide step, the way he's breaking his hands. Yes, for the runner it does give an indicator of when they can take off, but at the same time, because of that, in the short arm action, like I said early in the ball game, that baseball gets on you quickly.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Jose Siri. Angels have a couple of hits so far against Gore. Siri has 1 of them. Grissom a short lead at first. Siri lays off the fastball that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Gore's already shown that he can touch anywhere from 95 to 97 miles an hour, even at a slide step position.
He's got a big arm, to be sure. Now 3-2 as he missed with the curveball. See, is that where you might want to see the changeup in that case?
Absolutely, but in the back of your mind, you've already given up a hit to Siri, speeding up his bat and allowing him to barrel the baseball. Earlier in that bat, Gore throws a fastball and he fouls it over the first base dugout, and so in the back of your mind, you're thinking that.
Now fastball is flying to right, and Brandon Nimmo has that. 2 outs. Denzer Guzman will bat after we head to our studio and Sierra Santos.
To Boston for Giants and Red Sox. Rafi Devers goes deep in his first game back at Fenway. His 26th of the year cuts the Red Sox lead to 5-4. Wayne, Dontrell, let's go back to you in Texas.
Big return of Devers to Boston tonight as the Red Sox, I'm sure in some way the Fenway faithful welcomed him back tonight. As Guzman stands in here with 2 outs and it's ball 1. Mackenzie Gore with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Stands about 6'2", so it's hard to believe that at one time he was the smallest kid on his high school baseball team.
You mean basketball team?
No, his baseball team. Whiteville High School in North Carolina. So they gave him the number 1 because he was the smallest kid. And they won the state championship that year, so he wanted the number 1 again. When he came back the next season, he stayed with number 1. And then when the Padres promoted him to the major leagues, A.J. Preller said, I remember you wearing number 1 in high school when I scouted you. Do you want it in the big leagues? And he said, sure. So there you go. Number 1, Mackenzie Gore.
I'd have wore 91 once I got called up to the big leagues. I think I was number 76 when I was in big league camp, and then got to the big leagues and wore 3-5, and the rest is history. But I wasn't big time.
Well, you don't like the single digit on the pitcher.
Nah, I don't like it. I don't like
it. It's a good story, though.
It's lightweight hating, I know, and I'm usually not a hater, but I just don't like the look of it. But at the same time, a great story, and he's an impactful big leaguer, and he still has such a great ceiling. And so I see what you did, Weezy. I owe you one for the. We even.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Guzman. Now 3-2. I think it's getting lopsided.
No, it ain't lopsided. No. It ain't lopsided. You know I enjoy the smoke, but I'm gonna let you ride.
Full count on Denzer Guzman. Grissom about to take off here. It's 3-2. As Guzman gets jabbed and pops it straight up. It's Diaz near the plate. And that retires the side. Good pitching matchup. Gore and Detmer still 0-0.
Time for a Sage Manager interview here with Kurt Suzuki. Detmers has really stepped it up, really since he started incorporating more analytical, more data, more TrackMan. What's clicked for him?
You know, I think just realizing what he does really, really good, right? And trying to simplify the game a little bit. And once he's done that, I mean, you've seen it. He's been pitching really well for us.
Mike Trout sometimes gets criticism for not being competitive enough because he hasn't demanded a trade. But you were his teammate. You're now his manager. You know that's not the case. What does his loyalty bring to this organization?
I think it's awesome. He's one of the most competitive guys I've ever been around, you know, and, you know, he's been such a joy for me to have as a manager, as a teammate. And, you know, I think it's a benefit for a lot of these younger players coming up too, watching what, you know, one of the best players to ever play this game is doing.
Thanks, Kurt.
Corey Seager flares one into center field for a base hit. The Rangers have their leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 4th. It was interesting to hear Kurt Suzuki talk about it earlier, and you see every single record that Mike Trout has as an Angel, or a lot more than that. He's only behind the late great Garrett Anderson in hits and games played in Angels history. But Kurt Suzuki said earlier, you know, I appreciated being his teammate and being alongside a Hall of Famer while he was with me on the team when Suzuki played for the Angels. As Wyatt Langford, it's a very high pop-up to shallow left center. Jose Siri handles that. 1 out. But he says, as his manager, I appreciate him even more.
You know, I love what he said in that meeting. He says it makes my job so much easier having someone that has that standard about himself. He tells everyone, hey, you want to be like somebody? Be like 2-7. Job's done. And so the work ethic, the class, the responsibility of being a focal point, not only every day on the offense, but the defensive side. And you never hear a bad word about him, no matter who comes through that locker room, no matter if it's a different manager, a different player. Everybody has a ton of respect for him being one of the best players of all time.
Well, that was a really salient point made by Suzuki talking about Trout. As Brandon Nimmo bats here with 1 out, and Seager at first base after his leadoff hit. It's a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2 on Nimmo. It's easy to take Trout for granted sometimes because he has not had that playoff pedigree. He certainly has had the numbers to show that he's one of the great players that's ever lived as a 3-time MVP. Still climbing number of wins above replacement. You know, he is just about even with Wade Boggs on the all-time WAR list at this point. Has a real chance to be one of the rare players in Major League history to have 100 WAR or more before his career is over.
3 MVPs, 4 runner-ups. The end. I mean, it's his greatness, you know, regardless of playoff pedigree or not. I mean, that a bat with Shohei Ohtani on the mound and Mike Trout. You're in that situation in the WBC, you just think, where were you at when that happened? Yeah. Because of that, it wasn't just because of Shohei Ohtani. If you're talking about American-born players, it's like, this is the guy in his generation that is well respected for good reason.
It was a Hollywood script at the end of that WBC a few years ago when Shohei and Trout, who were still teammates at the time, locked up to finish off that World Baseball Classic. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Nimmo.
I mean, he's so impactful. People in Philadelphia wanted to be a Philly. Other teams have wanted him.
That strike 3 call. Nimmo goes down on a fastball. Detmers with 3 more strikeouts tonight, now a career high 170 on the year. Well, this was that last at bat in the WBC. 2 icons squaring off, teammates at the time, as Shohei won that battle. As Mike Trout struck out to end the WBC with Japan beating Team USA, but couldn't have scripted it any better in a 1-run game for those two to battle head-to-head in the bottom of the 9th inning. As Ezekiel Duran fouls one back, and Shohei has been the best player in baseball, though Aaron Judge has been near him here in this decade. In the last decade, Mike Trout was the clear best player in the league.
You want to talk about power, speed, I mean, a menace on the field. How many home runs have we seen him rob? I mean, at this point, you're comparing him to some of the greats of all time if you're thinking of Ken Griffey Jr. and guys like that. So, man, to do it in the same uniform, this and that alone, he's a throwback, because me and you could grown up in that era of seeing guys that are that impactful stay in the same uniform. And to be honest, he's never wanted to leave, regardless of the struggles of his injuries, his subpar play in some of the seasons, the team's subpar play. He always wanted to represent the halo in that region of California.
Well, it's certainly impactful to the Angels organization and Mike Trout's desire to be the George Brett of the Angels, Cal Ripken Jr., and some of the great players that were on just one team for the duration of their Hall of Fame careers. Here's Neto in the hole with a quick throw to second to get the force out on Seager, and in the bottom of the 4th in this 0-0 game. 32 bites, 1 champion. Vote for the signature disc you'd most like to try. Complete the Ballpark Bites bracket for a chance to win tickets to try these decadent bites at a stadium of your choice. Vote MLB.com/bracket.
Ooh, wait.
We got one of the 32 right here.
Help me. Cut me, Mick. Help me.
We've got the nachos in a sombrero that the Texas Rangers are being represented by in the Ballpark Bites bracket.
Ball 1.
Ball 1 to Josh Lowe. You already dug in, sounds like.
Don't tell my business like that, Weezy, to all the fans that's listening. I couldn't help it. I could smell it outside, and we don't have to share cheese or anything like that. There's enough cheese and jalapenos for everybody. This is why every time we come here, what do I say, Wayne? I almost want to say it in the open, but the food is second to none here. Everybody seems to be happy, enjoying themselves in one of the better atmospheres in all of baseball.
Well, I've never been happier than when this sombrero hat with the nachos, it is all the way around.
Man, listen. Everybody can join the fun.
Upside.
Excellent take.
2 balls and a strike. There it is. We have one in the booth right now.
He ain't sharing with the family?
No, it doesn't appear that he is.
Man.
D-Train's been on all through that sombrero.
Stop putting my business out there like that.
Balls, 2 strikes on Lowe.
And this fan base still believes that this team can do something special, not only getting into the postseason, but I love what Brandon Nimmo said about like doing damage into the postseason.
The Rangers are capable. A lot of good players.
Oh no.
That rotation again. If you get Evaldi, Leiter, Young back, it's a fuller roster, and it looks much more like a playoff type roster. And they got to get there first.
Right
now they're tied with Minnesota for the 3rd wild card. Actually finished the season against the Minnesota Twins. What could be a big matchup. By then it might not be.
I think it will. I think it's going to come down the stretch. It's feeling like that. Every time we show up to one of these teams, it's like they have a chance. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Where were the Baltimore Orioles in that position when they played the Texas Rangers? It's 2 Apples TVs ago. Very important. You're going to see a seesaw battle and teams fighting to get into the postseason, and that's when it's fun. This is the funnest time of this year.
Cleveland, Detroit, Toronto, Baltimore, Seattle, all in the mix. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Kenzie Gore with a strikeout. And here in the booth, voila.
Don't put it off on me. You smelling this aroma too. You know what though? We in the building, Weezy. I'm sorry. I know I got a white shirt on.
Well, we already did our stuff on camera, so who cares?
We're on camera now. Got to live our best life, man. Excellent changeup. You talked about that pitch. So important, especially the second time around, just to establish that and put another wrinkle in the hitter's mind that they can't just key on the fastball. Throw that changeup, try to get some soft contact because Gore's already had a couple long at bats.
1 ball, 1 strike on d'Arnaud. Angels and Rangers both just 2 hits apiece. Only time we've seen a ball really squared up. Got caught in center field. Trout flied out to center and Seager flied out to Trout. 1 ball, 1 strike. No, lifts one toward the right field line. It's a long run for Brandon Nimmo, and that ball drops just foul.
Nimmo has excellent range, but where he's playing at in this outfield is massive. Tough when somebody gets a right-handed batter, gets jammed but muscles it up. There's a lot of no man's land in right field.
No fly to center his first time. He's hit lefties well throughout his career. Missed a lot of time this season with a foot injury. Veteran catcher, was part of the 2015 Mets when they went to the World Series, and the 2021 Braves when they won the World Series. Caught every inning of both of those postseasons. Very respected veteran catcher in d'Arnaud. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Kurt Suzuki has talked a lot about d'Arnaud and Tyler Heineman, helping with the game planning, getting the pitchers pushed through here, as the Angels pitching has been terrific over the last few weeks. And on top of that, a young catcher in Moises Ballesteros joining the organization, trying to get up to speed. d'Arnaud's been instrumental in all of that. Seager will throw him out here. 2 up, 2 down. You better believe it, the 2-time Emmy-winning comedy Ted Lasso is back for an all-new season, with Ted taking on his biggest challenge yet, coaching a 2nd Division women's football team. Don't miss Ted Lasso Season 4, now streaming on Apple TV. Had Ted Lasso to come in here to the booth one day and give you some words of wisdom, help you along with pep talk. I think you would inspire you.
I need a lot of that. You're absolutely right. You're stuck with me in the booth for 25 weeks. I think you know me very well. Thank you for that pep talk, Weezy. We love you.
1 ball, 1 strike. There was that good changeup.
Yes.
Before.
Very important. I love that Diaz and him are on the same page right now, saying, hey, look, we can slow these hitters down, and by doing that, the fastball plays up a little higher.
On the dirt to Oswald Peraza, who hit the ball well early in the season, but he's slumped over the last couple of months. Former Yankee prospect getting a chance to play more as an Angel. 2 balls and a strike. Gore misses inside. It's 3-1 with Zach Neto on deck.
Already at 85 pitches. Very important to finish innings. Getting himself in a hitter-friendly count, so it's got to pay the piper.
It's ball 4, so that's the first walk issued by Gore tonight, despite a handful of 3-ball counts before this plate appearance. As Peraza is on.
Very important runner for the Halos, especially Peraza. 12 for 14 in stolen base attempts this year thus far.
Rossi will move. We talked about the Angels running a bit more over the last few weeks. We'll see if there's any action here. Angels stole a base earlier. As Neto looks at a strike. 5 hits and 7 RBIs in the game for Neto yesterday. That was batting cleanup. Now it's 21 homers and 61 knocked in on the year. He's the team leader in home runs now. Whiffs on that curveball, and it's 0-2.
Excellent pitch right there. Neto's looking to hunt the fastball and be on time so he can generate that power to the pull side. Excellent breaking ball. You see the depth change of that. And Neto in that area down and away has chased a lot.
The ball's 2 strikes, 2 outs with a runner on first. As Neto fouls one. Here we are again with Mackenzie Gore as we see Zach Neto's homer yesterday. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. This one 428 feet.
Ooh, you see where that pitch was though. Belt high. Not enough velocity, not enough movement, and he's going to do that every single time because of his bat pad.
The ball was long gone in Houston last night. It's way upstairs from Gore. That's 90 pitches now for Mackenzie Gore, and he's always in this situation, it seems, where it's the middle of the game, and yet here's his pitch count climbing and climbing.
Had a couple of tough at-bats with Lowell. He's seen about 15, it feels like 20 of his pitches, and so that's a situation where, yes, he's not giving up runs, but his hitter grinds you down. But excellent fastball at the top of the zone, and Neto's going to challenge.
See what happens. This challenge powered by T-Mobile looks like strike 3. And it does end the inning. Another strikeout for Mackenzie Gore. He's fanned 6 today in 5 shutout innings. Still a 0-0 game in Arlington.
Tonight's odds courtesy of BetMGM. Does anybody want it? I'm talking about the AL pennant. One NL executive described the American League to me as mid this year, and that sounds right. A few of the teams on this list here were sellers at the trade deadline, yet they're still alive in the postseason race. According to odds makers, the favorite to get to the World Series is still the Yankees, with apologies to the team ahead of them in the AL East standings, the Rays. Who do you guys think is going to get it done?
Well, somebody, I think.
Is it going to be a stumble? Is what I mean, how are they still the odds favorite when the Rays have seemed to be giving that stiff jab to them all season long, and now you have Max Fried that's gone down. Yeah. It's an uphill climb for the New York Yankees.
If you think the Yankees are the favorite, then you probably think Judge, Bellinger, and Stanton are going to be a big part of that. If they aren't, then the door is even more wide open for somebody else. 2 balls, no strikes on Berger as he pops one behind home plate. You know, the White Sox end up here as the 2 seed based on the fact that the second best division winner gets a bye. But the way you look at it this year, the Yankees have 6 more wins than the White Sox. The Red Sox have a better record than the White Sox too. I almost wish it was just based on record rather than based on who wins whichever division has a bunch of teams that are mediocre right now.
Look at the Boston Red Sox and that surge they had a month ago. And it felt like they were getting prospects, even though they got Adley Rutschman. They gave up a lot of prospects. Wilson Contreras, where is he at? And all of a sudden they start to surge. And so, who had that on that bingo card that the White Sox right now are going to have the 2 seed in the bye?
2 balls, 2 strikes on Berger, and it's still there for a bunch of other teams to get that 2 seed, which does come with that bye. You get through that wild card round. Minnesota, Cleveland still close in the AL Central. The Astros and Rangers battling in the West, although Seattle is still lurking, although they're 8 games under 500.
You know, and all the while, if you look at the Seattle Mariners, the catastrophic season that Kyle Raleigh has had, and all will be forgotten if all of a sudden he returns this last month and helps them, because they've had a tough time all year long winning games back to back, because of the offensive lack of productivity. And so But this is fun for us. You know, when you get questions asked like that. Down all the way down to the Minnesota Twins.
Strike to Cody Freeman. Bounced out his first time. White Sox were trailing the Mets 4-0 tonight. Then they had a bunch of home runs and tied the game. So it's 4-4 now. The Astros lead the A's 1-0 as Freeman grounds one the other way and has a base hit. One out single for Cody Freeman, who has our PNC plays of the game tonight.
Cody Freeman being able to range to his right. Huge run saving because Siri was rounding third, but to be able to stay poised, and then you saw in the range with Nemo barreling down. Both these guys hustle hard. I love the communication. Making a big play and having a day.
Brings up Diaz with one out. Freeman at first. Only the third hit for Texas. All the hits in this game have been singles as Diaz looks at a strike. Rangers have not even had a man in scoring position yet. The Angels have had one. This hasn't been any sign that any of these teams are going to heat up in the final 5 weeks of the season. And they might just plop along here until somebody ends up in that third wild card spot and somebody wins the West and somebody wins the Central.
Well, if you're looking at the Texas Rangers, they're 18-25 in the AL West. Talked to Skip Schumacher about it. He says, I've been up all night trying to figure that out.
This ball grounded into left field, a base hit, so it's back-to-back hits. And Texas with their first scoring threat tonight as Freeman and Diaz come up with one out singles.
You look at the Halos. Yes, they're throwing the baseball better, but offensively, they still have the same problems the Rangers have. A 609 team OPS since August 1st. So they're not getting a lot of productivity. So you're looking at two offenses right now, besides last night, that are still trying to find their identity towards the later year of how they can score runs and be impactful.
Yeah, Texas has been the lowest scoring team in the majors over the last few weeks. Trying to get something going here in the fifth against Reed Detmers. Runners on first and second with the number 9 batter Evan Carter at the plate. He shows bunt, and it's a drag bunt up the first base side. It's going to be a hit. A perfect bunt from Carter. 3 straight hits for the Rangers to load the bases.
I'm sorry, I understand I'm supposed to be neutral, but that was old school baseball. Ron Pierre would be so proud, bunting it right there, forcing the defense, and it's situational play because nobody on the Angel side expected that, especially early in the count. Excellent bunt. And that's the home team. You're trying to get something going and showing the ability to turn over the lineup. And that's why you're seeing all his teammates giving you love, like great baseball play.
A big opportunity now for the Rangers. Bases loaded, one out. And it's ball one to Justin Foscue. Foscue with a walk and a strikeout today. See the Rangers without a grand slam this year. Their offensive woes carry over even into this situation. A 508 OPS with the bases loaded, the worst in baseball. That's a strike from Detmers. It's 1-1, and Corey Seager's on deck.
Excellent pitch by Detmers to be able to flutter that changeup. You look at Foscue trying to drive the ball and get something elevated ahead in the count. Excellent pitch to even the count.
3 straight hits have loaded him up. Detmers now falls behind Foscue. 2 balls, 1 strike. Houston with a 1-0 lead on the A's in the 5th inning, so Texas only a game out. Trying to keep pace through this weekend with the Astros playing a team that's 30 games under 500. The Rangers playing a team that's 26 games under. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouled back 2-2. Foscue struck out in his last at bat. Detmers has punched out 3 today. Has the 4th most strikeouts in the American League overall. Misses for ball 3.
Detmers wanted to be able to sneak that fastball past Foscue. He's seen a changeup down, the sliders down, the fastball in. I think he's going to go with his slider.
Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-2. And a bouncer to third. Guzman will throw home. They get the out there, and that's it. 2 down. As Guzman takes care of the lead runner at the plate.
Good pitch, excellent defense, not panicking. He already knew if the baseball comes to me, I'm going home to prevent this run. Would have been a tough play to turn 2 on. But you're still not out of the woods just yet with their team's best hitter at the plate.
Yeah, you do have Corey Seager coming up. Ball 1 hops right to Guzman at third. Swing and a miss by Seager. He was going for it all in the first pitch.
He's telling everybody in the ballpark, you've seen my movies. I'm not waiting around.
337 career hitter with the bases loaded. He has smashed Angel pitching as a member of the Rangers. That's a strike. Seager a little late to challenge, but he does get there. This will be very close. Rangers challenge powered by T-Mobile. It's a ball. They gave Seager a moment to think about it there.
But this is his house. Don't be so quick to take the remote out of my hand.
One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. Seager taps one at home plate foul. It's 1-2. Seager's had 4 straight multi-hit games. Entered today 8 for his last 16. He had a home run here against Washington last night. He's been wrecking the baseball since coming back from his latest IL stint. Trying to put Texas on top here in the 5th. Bases loaded, 2 outs. It's way off the plate from Detmers, ball 2. Rangers loaded the bases with 3 straight hits. Detmers got the 2nd out on a force out at home, and now 2-2 to Seager. Check swing. He held up, ball 3.
Excellent slider. Even better take. Detmers really cut loose that slider down in the zone and looked very enticing.
Very close on the check swing. Now full count, 3-2 with the bases loaded. And it's in there, strike 3. Detmers freezes Seager. And the Rangers can't score with the bases loaded in the 5th. Now the bottom of the 5th, the scoring chance for the Rangers. Justin Foscue hit into a fielder's choice, and then Corey Seager took a strike 3 on a 3-2 pitch, essentially right down the middle.
He was looking for that slider the previous pitch and elongated his stride and guessed wrong. Big time pitch by Reed Detmers.
It's the 6th inning as Mike Trout leads off. Still a scoreless game as Mackenzie Gore misses with ball 1. I guess what you're saying is that you think Seager was expecting something fancier than a fastball right down the middle?
Yes, he thought it was going to double up with that breaking ball. You throw it 2-2. The thought process is you're going to throw it 3-2. And sometimes, you know, hey, they drive nice cars too, man. You got to tip your cap.
1 ball, 1 strike on Trout as that nips the inside corner from Gore. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trout fly down to deep center earlier. He's grounded out today as well. 20 home runs on the year. His 20th came off of Mackenzie Gore in Anaheim last week. Angels with a chance now to capture the lead after the Rangers didn't score. And there's strike 3 called to Trout.
Yeah, that fastball still has enough life at pitch 95. Trout's looking for something softer. Again, you see 2 of these guys that are all-stars. This is a fastball right at the top of the zone, and you can tell by the stride they're waiting for the ball to slow down or break. And that ball's by you.
1 out here in the 6th inning. Ballesteros takes ball 1. Mackenzie Gore has fanned 7 now in this game. It's him over 160 for the year. Detmers has struck out 4, putting him over 170 for the year. Both of these lefties have gone toe-to-toe for a 3rd time now. In the games where they've matched up with each other, they've allowed a total of 2 runs.
So you understand what I mean about understanding when you see your name going up against a guy that's very familiar, it feels marquee. And pitching like it does fall. Both have been in difficult situations, had to go to their secondary pitches to slow down the hitters, and they have not disappointed.
Detmers in now 3 starts against Gore. Has recorded 24 strikeouts in 19 innings with only 2 runs allowed. It's Ballesteros with a fly ball to fairly deep center. Moving back forward is Carter to put that away. 2 outs here in the 6th. Take home a piece of the game. Bid on game used jerseys, baseballs, bases, and more at auctions.mlb.com.
Aaron Oliver, that's my guy.
C.J. Wilson got a big contract with the Angels, and there he is, the Hall of Famer, the all-time strikeout king, a man whose number is retired by 3 different organizations: the Rangers, the Astros, and the Angels. Nolan Ryan. Foscue again, going way out, or Freeman rather, again in shallow right field, going way out to make that play. Another good play by Cody Freeman at second base.
They call me the outlaw, man with no name. I go unnoticed, yeah, it's all a game.
Reed Detmers and Mackenzie Gore tonight have exchanged zeros all the way until the bottom of the 6th inning. As Detmers drops in a curveball for a strike to Wyatt Langford. Detmers worked out of a bases loaded jam in the 5th inning. That's the closest either team has come to scoring here. Mackenzie Gore, 2-hit shutout ball through 6. He has fanned 7 in this game. Each time these 2 have faced off, they've both pitched well, and neither's recorded a decision. It's ended up in the bullpen's hands.
It's fun, man. Being able to step up and go toe-to-toe, and hoping that your team now, if you're Mackenzie, to push across a couple runs and give yourself a chance to win this ball game. But like I said earlier, man, they've really stepped up and shown that they have the ability, and their ceiling can be even higher because of their fastball command. They have enough velocity, but the secondary pitches as well to be able to navigate those lineups and get through the lineups a second, maybe a 3rd time.
Both managers talked about each of these guys staying on the attack. No balls and 2 strikes on Wyatt Langford, who's 0 for 2 so far today. Detmers around 80 pitches. Gore is at 100. So Gore is likely done. We'll see how much further Detmers can go. Check swing. That looked like a swing, and it is strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Detmers as Langford is down 1 away.
Going to that slider, you can tell, Wayne, as the game is progressing, he's starting to get a feel of where to release that ball, especially being able to throw that fastball down in that same zone. Hitters having trouble time picking up the spin to hold up.
1 out here is Brandon Nimmo, 0 for 2 against the lefty Detmers, although Nimmo's done very well against left-handed pitching this year. As Detmers drops in another first pitch curveball. Goes to that pitch a lot to get ahead. It tends to work for him to drop in that slow curve. Just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I talk so much about changing eye level, and if you keep seeing the ball down, 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 natural reaction to a hitter is to flinch when they see that ball go up, and so for you to be able to steal strikes, very important.
Nimmo with a fly ball to center field here. Mike Trout stands under that. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a full weekend for MLS. 15 matches taking place tomorrow night. Lionel Messi and Inter Miami hosts Toronto at 7:30 Eastern. Then out west, LAFC takes on Portland. Vancouver against Dallas. The weekend capped off with a pair of matches on Sunday, including NYCFC taking on New England. All coverage live on Apple TV. There's the Ranger bullpen. Cole Winn is getting up. Mentioned Gore at 100 pitches, so he's likely done. Detmers can get a quick out. We'll see if he can go back out for the 7th inning. Right now at 85 pitches. Both men have considerably lowered their ERAs over the last month. Detmers now at 3.63 for the year. And both men have expected ERAs that are much lower than their actual ERAs.
You know, if I'm the Angel front office, I'm finally seeing, especially the second half of a pitcher that has been somebody that you've had high praise for, and you moved him out of the bullpen into the bullpen. Doesn't matter. He is a frontline starter, and I think he's finally gotten comfortable. And if he continues to stay healthy in the second half, man, you have to be excited at what you see from this left-hander.
Without a doubt. 172 strikeouts now for Detmers. This ball's ripped into left field, and Ezekiel Duran has his 2nd hit today. And every hit in this game has been a single, and this one no different with 2 outs in the 6th.
Such an important hitter. You can't read lips, but you can read lips, and sometimes hitters are very pesky. This is an excellent slider down, but because Duran is so athletic and so short to the baseball, right in his wheelhouse to be able to continue to be pesky.
Yeah, Detmers seems like he's over it with Duran. A 2-out hit brings up Berger, who loops on up the middle, and it's caught on a line drive by Oswald Peraza. So Detmers does get out of the 6th and keeps it scoreless. Mackenzie Gore outstanding here tonight. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, no runs on 2 hits.
Yeah, having a great feel, especially with that slide step. The breaking ball was playing. The slider was excellent, and he really started to feel that changeup. But the high velocity at the top of the zone was very critical for his outing tonight. But if you look at this whiff, it's all over the box. You look at the top of the zone, very important to show his ability to be able to change eye level, and he did a phenomenal job doing that today.
21 swings and misses for Mackenzie Gore in this game, and there's another whiff, this time from the new Texas pitcher Cole Winn. It's been a little bit of a struggle in the Ranger bullpen of late. You go back to July 1st, their bullpen ERA is 5.41. Series swings and misses again, nothing in 2. It's the 2nd highest ERA in the American League since July 1st. Well, Texas still typically has been good in close games, games where they've had a lead. They don't have a lead yet here, and may not get one, as they've been shut out as well through 6 innings. But it is deadlocked as we get into the top of the 7th. The Rangers have the 2nd best record in baseball in 1-run games. Siri with a pop-up behind home plate that gets out of play. Not getting a foul ball up in space up here.
We have not gotten one in 4 years.
In any place.
In any place. In any place. Waiting until I have to save you, and you really.
It's a ball in the dirt and check swing. Jen Powell says that it was a swing. It took a long time for the first base umpire, Jen Powell, to make an adjudication on that check swing. And now Jose Siri in disbelief, wondering A, how that was a swing, and B, why it took so long, because as the ball got away, he didn't run. He didn't think he had to.
Oh, it looked like it hit the bat itself.
I actually thought as well that it may have hit the bat. But it took a while for that to be called, and Siri very demonstrative.
Yeah.
Unhappy with that call that ended up being strike 3. I mean, ultimately, if you're the batter there, though, and you're not
How do you
sure,
gotta sell the foul ball?
well, either that or you got to run to first.
Yeah,
You know
well,
the ball got away. I mean, Siri could have ended up at first base there if he would have taken off and just worried about the umpires later. Here's a line drive to left from Denzer Guzman, and it stays up for Wyatt Langford to make the catch. 2 outs.
In a tightly contested ball game like we're seeing right now, every base runner is important. And even if you fouled it, you got to sell it in that situation and force their hand to be able to make a call on that. But just to stand there.
Yeah, you can run first and then argue later. Siri just stood there, and 2 outs as Josh Lowe bats 0 for 2. Really, the point here might be more with the home plate umpire, because did the ball hit the bat? Look at it from the side here. It hit the bat clearly. Wow. So that ball hit the ground and then hit the bat and then rolled behind home plate. At that point, it's a foul ball.
But nobody on the field saw that. Not any other umpires. Nobody saw that. Just the misdirection of that ball being thrown. So that's not fully on Jen Powell. That's on everybody, especially the home plate.
Yeah, especially Andy Fletcher, the home plate umpire. He missed the ball hitting the bat.
Yeah, like that's on everybody.
I don't even know if Siri realized the ball hit the bat. He was arguing about the check swing, when really the argument was the fact that that should have been a foul ball.
I wish we were calling the game tomorrow, because I would have asked him during BP, did you even feel that?
Well, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll ask for you.
Appreciate you.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Josh Lowe. Get your guy Gooby in the booth with me tomorrow.
And that's my guy. Happy belated. One of the best in the business, man. He is one of the hardest working guys. And just a gem.
That is a called 3rd strike, so Josh Lowe is down on strikes to end the inning. And it's a 1-2-3, top of the 7th out of the Ranger bullpen for Cole Winn. Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear, with Dontrell Willis and Heidi Way. I'm Wayne Randazzo. We're in Arlington, Texas. It's been a pitcher's duel here today. No score going into the bottom of the 7th inning at Globe Life Field. Jose Siri was at the plate to lead off the top of the 7th and struck out on what was ruled a check swing, but ultimately looked like a foul ball. The ball bounced and then hit the bat of Siri. Jen Powell, the first base umpire, said it was a check swing strike. And I think Siri was arguing the wrong point. He was arguing about the check swing when he really should have said, hey, the ball hit my bat. I don't even know that he realized it. Siri. There's Brian Gorman, our former Major League umpire, joining us on Zoom. First of all, Brian, what goes through the umpires' minds there as they see that ball kind of bounce in a different direction?
Yeah, I think Siri was arguing more the check swing than he was whether it was a foul ball or not, because if it's a foul ball, it's the home plate umpire's call. And he never went to the home plate umpire and said, hey, foul tipped it. So it seemed like he was just arguing the check swing. And it looked like Suzuki and the home plate umpire had a discussion between the innings. I'm sure that's what they were talking about. Well, but yeah, difficult call, but if it hits the bat, it's obviously a foul ball.
In that case, you have the Players Weekend bats here, so different colored bats and that sort of thing, kind of meshing with the jerseys a little bit. Could that have been part of the reason why Andy Fletcher didn't see exactly what happened there?
I think you go more on hearing on a foul tip like that. It's actually a foul ball. It's not a foul tip. But anytime the ball just nicks the bat, you hear it more than you see it come off the bat, especially on a check swing like that.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. This is Jared Kelenic leading off in the bottom of the 7th inning, pinch hitting against new reliever for the Angels, Jose Fermin. Fermin, a hard thrower. He can be susceptible to the long ball at times. That's why the Rangers want to put Kelenic in the game here to see if he can blast one off the bench. They have Jock Peterson too. You might see him factor into this at some point, as the Angels have the righty in the game now, but a lefty up in their bullpen, Taylor Saucedo. Swing and a miss by Kelenic. Reed Detmer's day is done. 6 innings, another no decision for Detmers. You wonder how a guy with 172 strikeouts can only have 4 wins for the year. And largely this is how the Angels haven't scored much for him.
Yeah, every rotation has a hard luck guy, and he seems to be, but I think he's still poised. Excellent slider. Woo.
Fermin strikes out Kelenic. 1 out. Let's go to our studio. Here's Sierra Santos.
Hey guys, keeping an eye on the AL West. Yordan Alvarez finds a gap for his league-leading 89th RBI of the season. That makes it 2-0 Astros. It is now 3-0 Houston. Wayne Dontrell, let's get back to you in Texas.
They still pitching to him?
I guess.
I'm not, man, don't throw him nothing, especially at home.
Yordan Alvarez, the AL MVP frontrunner and Triple Crown candidate.
Man, everybody got iPads, I thought.
Well, he's only hit 1 home run in August, so that home run lead has dwindled. He still got it over Junior Caminero for now. Tampa Bay lost at Baltimore tonight 5-3. Caminero did not hit a home run. No balls, 2 strikes on Diaz. Facing Jose Fermin, who struck out Jared Kelenic to start the inning. Angels trying to keep Peterson on the bench. That's why they got the lefty up in the bullpen. There is Jock Peterson. Doesn't look like he's coming in anytime soon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Although Foscue would do up after Carter, who's on deck. See what the Rangers and Angels decide to do as we get into the later innings here.
A couple weeks ago, Jock Peterson, we talked about how he was covering the baseball. It was a tightly contested game. In one swing, he turned it all around. And so I think Skip Schumacher is waiting to be able to deploy that ace card, because no matter what uniform he has been, man, you want to talk about light tower power. If you make a mistake, he possesses it.
If you're Skip Schumacher, you want to make sure he faces a right-hander, because he's not hit much against lefties. All of his damage this year has virtually been against right-handed pitching. This ball is hit hard. Guzman with a diving stop. He's up quickly for the out at first.
He can go get that baseball, huh, Weezy? His jumps, his timing. I felt like even that play that he went at home, mentally, he is ready to play over there in that hot corner. Yes, you have athletic ability, but mentally you have to be 1 step ahead to know exactly where you want to go, especially the pitch mix. Excellent dive to his left, and knew he had the arm strength and knew who was running up the base too, so he really didn't have to fire it over there.
Yeah, no doubting the defensive prowess of Denzer Guzman on the left side of the infield as Evan Carter on a check swing fouls one back. So it's no balls and a strike.
Everybody got show chains this year. A big deal.
Keeping your eye on the trends.
Man, you had to be a couple all-star teams to do that. Like when I played. Yeah. I ain't hating. No, y'all look good.
No balls, 2 strikes on Carter.
Show chains, everybody. I'll start rocking my show chains, Weezy.
There's one.
Yeah.
Does it say bold, bald, and beautiful on his shirt?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Me too.
No doubt. We saw Mr. T at Wrigley Field.
Hey, that was fun. That was fun.
Talk about show chains.
What you ducking me, Balboa?
Don't point your finger at me when you say that.
The T scared me. I didn't want to go to Chicago when I was a little boy because of Mr. T and that Rocky. It was serious. It was serious on the south side.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Evan Carter.
Oh. Excellent take. Kareem going to get that slider. He throws it harder than an average fastball. So it's tough to hold up.
Carter had a bunt hit his last time. And he drills this one to right, backing up low. He's racing and he can't reach it. It one hops over the wall. Lowe put his arms up to stop Carter at second base. It's an automatic double. And the Rangers with a man in scoring position here in the 7th.
And all that was set up by the take of that slider down. All of a sudden, Carter gets a fastball up in the zone, and he was on time to be able to barrel that. Head down through the baseball. Excellent swing. The home team hoping they can get some 2-out lightning with the lineup being able to turn over once again.
The ball was hammered by Carter. Now with Justin Foscue due up, Rangers send him to the plate against the righty Fermin. Ball 1. I mean, basically here, if they announced Peterson, Saucedo would come in. So the Rangers seem to prefer Foscue against the righty than Peterson against the lefty. 2 outs with Carter now in scoring position. He runs well. As Foscue taps one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Excellent take. Down in the zone. Set himself up, eliminating pitches and getting the pitches that you want and not swinging too big, Wayne. Even if you guess right, sometimes hitters in this situation, they get too big. He allowed for me to be able to supply the power. I just got to beat him in the spot.
Swing and a miss. Good slider that time by Fermin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rangers only 2 for 12 with men on base in this game. Foscue hitting under 200 against right-handers. Peterson's hitting under $150 against lefties.
Oh no.
Let's pick your poison for Skip Schumacher, and it's Foscue getting a big chance here. Base hit by Carter, the first extra base hit of the game. Rangers have had 7 hits, the Angels only 2, and yet it's a scoreless game. Bouncer, and that's foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Starters threw the ball well. They each get a no decision for 6 scoreless innings. Now in the hands of the bullpens, although the Angels bullpen has been better of late than the Rangers. It's 2-2 on Foscue. Another foul. Good battle here.
Fermin wants to be able to put him away with that slider down. That's the pitch he wants to go to, but Foscue's done an excellent job spoiling pitch after pitch. And as a pitcher, you can get frustrated, and as a hitter, you're hoping that he just tries to overthrow the baseball and make a mistake elevated, something that a hitter can handle.
Count 2-2. And a fly ball, left center field, hit well. Trout after it, all the way to the warning track. He makes the catch. And this big ballpark holds up another long fly ball. Foscue flies out. The Rangers don't score in the 7th. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Players Weekend, with all the accoutrements that come with it.
What would you put on your bat?
I put you on it.
Don't try to butter me up the way you've been clowning me all game.
I put you with the leg kick. You had that leg kick right on.
You put Sammy Sosa on there. That's what you would put. Ryan Saberg, Sammy Sosa. Don't lie to me.
Travis d'Arnaud leads off here in the top of the 8th inning in a 0-0 game. New pitcher for the Rangers, former Angel Chase Silseth. Silseth along with Logan O'Hoppe, the first deals that John Mozeliak made with the trade deadline nearing, sending both men to the Rangers. O'Hoppe's at AAA. Although reports have been good for Logan O'Hoppe so far in the Rangers organization. Texas certainly not closing the door on O'Hoppe appearing in the major leagues for them at some point this season, as we see Nicky Lopez now at second base.
Well, sometimes in a situation like that, an athlete needs to change the scenery, and he came into the situation understanding he wanted to go to AAA and work on things not only offensively but defensively as well. Build up your confidence, and with the team that has a chance to go in the postseason, he will have a chance once get called up to go out there and get some meaningful reps.
Rangers just got Danny Jansen back from the IL earlier this week. Still might get Kyle Higashioka back at some point. You see Silseth on the mound here in the 8th inning. Drafted by the Angels in 2021. That was the year they took all pitchers in the draft. 2 balls, 2 strikes on d'Arnaud. Silseth was a starter early in his career, but he has settled into a relief role the last couple of seasons. Two balls, 2 strikes on Travis d'Arnaud, leading off here in the 8th inning. Still 0-0. The Angels scored 18 last night. Can't get one today.
Yeah, sometimes in a ball game like that, you got to yell in that dugout, save something for tomorrow. Especially if you're pitching in that game tomorrow. I want to save a couple of those for me.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, no.
Check swing. It's ball 4. So the Angels get their leadoff man on with a walk here in the 8th. Let's go downstairs to Heidi.
And speaking of Rangers injuries, Jack Leiter made his second rehab start yesterday at Frisco. He threw about 60 pitches. His velocity was there, and there's a possibility that he could actually make his next start here with the big league club. He'd be ready to go to about 80 pitches. The team may opt for another rehab outing. They want to see how he does recovering today, and then also his next bullpen session before they make a decision there, guys.
So that goes for the Texas Rangers as d'Arnaud now comes out of the game. Drawing that leadoff walk to start this inning, Adam Frazier. The veteran goes in to run at first base. Oswald Peraza squares to bunt, takes ball 1.
Yeah, let's see if he breaks the plane. Ooh.
It's a close one.
Yeah. Close one, especially this late in the ball game. Could determine it.
Angels will take it. There goes Frazier. Throw to second base, and Frazier is out. He could not slip under the tag of Seager. Diaz fires one down for the first out of the inning.
Oh no!
Right on the backside of that shoulder as Seager's coming down. He has to receive it, but also keep a sliding lane. But because Seager, that throw took him to the first base side, actually helped them out with the tag.
The Angels being aggressive on the base paths. Even with Peraza squaring to bunt, they sent Frazier, who gets caught stealing. So that's the first out. 3 balls and a strike now on Peraza. Drew a walk his last time.
And see, it's all about the timing of when you're running, but you also have to have an understanding of the game. Silseth is still trying to work his way, and if he was throwing strike 1, strike 2, then you want to send him in motion to try to cause some traffic defensively. But he's fighting himself right now, and so you have a chance to get Peraza out there.
Now it's 3-2 as Silseth works his way back into the count. Zach Neto on deck. Angels and Rangers locked in a scoreless game into the 8th inning. There have been more shutouts in this ballpark than any other in the major leagues this year. 15 shutouts in Globe Life Field this season, including 3 in a row this week. That's strike 3 to Peraza. He didn't seem to agree, but didn't challenge it either. Angels have 1 challenge left. Peraza did not use it there. It looked like it would have been strike 3 no matter what.
Yeah, so Seth being able to, at the top of the zone. Diaz doing an excellent job receiving that and making it look like a strike. But it was.
So 2 outs. Here's Neto. Had a base hit earlier. Angels only have 2 hits in this game. Neto started the game with a single. Jose Siri had a base hit in the 2nd, and that's been it. The only 2 hits for the Halos in this one. Rangers just had the Washington Nationals here earlier in the week, and each game in that series ended in a shutout, with the Rangers taking 2 out of 3, winning yesterday 2-0 behind Jacob deGrom. Neto with a fly ball to right center, and Nimmo moves over to make the catch. Angels don't score in the top of the 8th. It remains 0-0. Decisions presented by Sage. Rangers had their best scoring chance in the 5th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out. Justin Foscue hit into a fielder's choice with the runner at home being thrown out, and then Reed Detmers pitched out of trouble, striking out Corey Seager.
Yeah, he really stepped up and really executed the fastball at the top of the zone after that slider slowed Seager down. Seager's looking for that slider, and that seems like the best scoring opportunity thus far.
Now Taylor Saucedo enters the game here against Seager, Langford, and Nimmo. The best hitters for the Rangers due up in the bottom of the 8th. Saucedo tosses in a strike. Seager had a base hit in the 4th inning. Rangers have 7 hits but no runs. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Heineman now in the game, catching after Darno was lifted for a pinch runner last inning. It's inside to Seager. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Saucedo with that sweeping slider and very deceptive lefty on lefty, but will touch 90 to 92.
Angels have a lot of new faces in their bullpen after the trade deadline. They've had some injuries too. Sam Bachman and Sammy Natera both on the IL. A couple of rising arms in the Angel bullpen. They do have Ben Joyce back, who's been excellent since returning. 3-2, but it appears they're saving Joyce for the 9th.
Hoping they're able to get a lead, and Joyce has looked excellent, and that fastball velocity has come back with a vengeance.
It's Ryan Watson throwing in the Angel bullpen now. Seager lines one to left center field and has a base hit. Leadoff man on for Texas here in the bottom of the 8th.
You know, he's looking soft late, and that's why Detmer was able to beat him with that fastball. But lefty on lefty, man, he really does a good job of letting that baseball travel deep and have his sights looked at to left center.
Rangers with their leadoff man on. It's the 5th straight multi-hit game for Seager. So Wyatt Langford fouls one off. Langford 0 for 3, hit into a double play in the 1st inning. Angels are set up hoping for another one here. There's a bouncing ball toward Neto up the middle. Flip to second one. Throw to first. Not in time. Langford safe. Angels almost had the double play. Peraza seemed to get tied up a bit on the return throw, and Langford with good speed beat it out.
They're going to challenge that. Even with Langford's speed, as soon as he saw that hop, Peraza did an excellent job turning that. Excellent feed by Neto. Ooh.
That's close. Replay review powered by Zoom.
I think he's out. Oh.
I don't know. Let's see it from the other angle, maybe. This one.
Oh, he's safe. Oh, I got to walk home in this heat. Oh, man.
It's very, very close.
Yes, it is.
They called him safe on the field. That's the important thing to note. So it needs to be.
Ball only has to enter the glove, not hit the back of the glove, Wheezy.
Well, kind of has to be nestled in there.
I might get a ride home after all.
When is it? When is the ball nestled in there?
Is that what they say in the rule book?
That's
Nestled?
what it says. It's got to be kind of nestled in there.
Snuggled in there.
It's not really at the front of the glove. It's not really at the back of the glove. It's kind of right there. And it's close. They called him out.
Wow.
So the Angels do get the double play they were looking for on an extremely close play at first. Now 2 out, nobody on, and it's ball 1 to Brandon Nimmo. Kurt Suzuki happy to see this one overturned in the Angels' favor. Talking to Torrey Hunter there about when does the ball count as being caught?
With all that gold gloves that man on that bench has?
They want him in the outfield, though. There's Torrey Hunter, who usually comes around the Angels when they're here in Arlington.
One of the best to ever do it, man, and a phenomenal person, phenomenal teammate. You want to talk about going to get that baseball.
Yeah, he was awesome. Here's Nimmo with a fly ball right center field. It's easy for Josh Lowe, and it stays 0-0 through 8 here in Arlington.
Welcome back. It's Players Weekend. Let's see if Trout's kids' design bats have some pop. His bat company sent him plain white bat for his kids, back majority, to draw on. He's practiced with them in the cage today. He told me even though they're the exact same specs, he's used to hitting with a black bat. So the white feels weird to him because of the bright color, but he hopes it brings him some luck because they're from his boys, guys.
Well, anything for the kids.
Absolutely. 1000%.
Mike Trout does a lot not only for his own kids but for kids all around this sport. We see him in every ballpark signing autographs and taking pictures with kids before just about every game that he plays. He will lead off here in the top of the 9th against the all-star closer of the Texas Rangers. What a year it's been for Jacob Latz.
Latz has been absolutely excellent, especially in high leverage situations, and so 2 stars in the organization going toe-to-toe in a key situation.
Rangers have won 35 of the last 37 games that Latz has pitched in. He's on to try to keep this game scoreless in the 9th inning. All 1 to Mike Trout. Latz picked up his 25th save of the season yesterday, setting the Rangers all-time single season record by a left-hander. The record had been previously held by C.J. Wilson, who had 24 saves in 2008 before he became a starting pitcher, and a very good one for a couple of years with both of these teams. Two balls and a strike on Trout, and eventually got a pretty nice sized contract from the Angels.
Chips with dip.
Trout, then Ballesteros and Grissom due up here in the top of the ninth. 0-0. As Trout takes ball 3.
Well, that's doing his best job to not get to the bottom of that strike zone, especially when we know Mike Trout knows and loves.
Trout has walked a ton this year. He swings at a pitch upstairs to make it 3-2.
Even though it's 93-94 again, another left-hander that has life and conviction in the strike zone. That ball just takes off at the top of the strike zone.
Trout has had more full counts turned to walks than any other batter in the majors this season. It's 3-2 here. It's a foul back on a good cut, still 3-2. Last time these two teams had a scoreless game entering the 9th inning almost 20 years ago in September of 2006 at the ballpark in Arlington across the street. Angels won it on a homer by Vladimir Guerrero. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Lats went up another gear, 95 miles an hour, but that was a fastball he wanted to go at the top of the zone the whole at bat. He never wanted to go knee high with Mike Trout. He knows that's his nitro zone. Trout just can't catch up to it at the top of the zone.
So a big first out for Jacob Latz here in the top of the 9th inning. And now Moises Ballesteros, the batter. Ball 1 from Latz. Latz, who was the odd man out of the starting rotation at the end of spring training, found himself into a bullpen role early in the year, and he morphed into the closer, became an all-star at it. Drops in a strike to Ballesteros, and it's 1-1. Angels have a pretty lights-out closer in their own right, and Ben Joyce, he's still working his way back ultimately from shoulder surgery. As Ballesteros bunts foul behind home plate.
Yeah, Ballesteros tried to do that lefty on lefty drag, but have some momentum going to the first base and catch the right side of that infield, napping a little bit.
Ballesteros does not have blazing speed. They'd really have to be in a snooze for that to turn into a hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's way upstairs, and it's 2-2. Angels have not had a hit since the 2nd inning, but their pitching has held up. As it's grabbed by Berger with a backhand, and they'll race it to the bag. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th. Formula One returns from their summer break this weekend for the Dutch Grand Prix in the Netherlands. Kimi Antonelli leads the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton and others look to start a second-half run. Don't miss the action live this Sunday. Apple TV, the U.S. home of Formula One. Here's Vaughn Grissom with 2 outs. Other games in the AL West tonight. Houston does lead the A's 4-0. That game's in the 8th inning. Yordan Alvarez has driven in 2. The Cubs are in Seattle. Cubs scored 3 in the first on homers by Pete Crow Armstrong and Alex Bregman. And Seattle tied the game on a 3-run homer by Cal Raleigh. Mariners are going to make a move. They need Raleigh to figure it out.
Turn back the clock and turn into that guy that was last year. That did record numbers in the catching position if they have any chance.
He still does not even have 60 hits this season after his 60 homer year last year. A home run tonight has tied up that game. Still just the 2nd inning at T-Mobile Park. 2 balls and a strike. Saw Ben Joyce warming up in the Angels bullpen, but Ryan Watson is up as well. So looks like Joyce would only come on here if the Angels score. Rangers have Duran, Berger, and Lopez due up in the bottom of the ninth.
Ahead in the count, Grisham having a tough time getting that on top of that fastball at the top of the zone. And now they got the little man with their shirt off too.
There's ball 4, so Grissom works a 2-out walk. And the Angels have some life here in the top of the ninth inning. It's Jose Siri due up. Siri struck out his last time after a ball in the dirt seemed to hit his bat, which should have been a foul ball. Instead, Siri was called out on a check swing. He was in disbelief at the fact that it was a check swing, but I don't think he even realized the ball hit his bat. It should have been a foul ball. Strike 1 to Siri. Swing and a miss, and Latz gets ahead 0-2.
Excellent hold by Latz. Throws the base runner and the hitter at the place, timing all off, and even be able to throw that changeup out of that slot. Excellent sequence thus far.
Latz trying to give his team a chance to win it in the bottom of the ninth. Upstairs to Siri. Latz with 21 pitches already in this inning. It's important because we've seen him throw multiple innings a bunch this year. We were here a couple of weeks ago when he threw 2 innings and a save against the Orioles. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So if the Rangers need him for the 10th inning, I feel like a big pitch count here in the 9th inning might take him out of that potential for 2 innings. He threw 36 pitches last Saturday in Sacramento in a 2-inning save. So it's happened quite a bit with him. This will be his 23rd pitch of this inning. It's upstairs. He's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 now on Jose Siri.
Yeah, Siri, excellent job not chasing out of the zone.
That's in there for strike 3. So Latz gets the strikeout, his 2nd of the inning. He puts up a 0 as many others have tonight. It is still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Welcome back. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear, with Donnell Willis and Heidi Watney. I'm Wayne Randazzo. We're in Arlington, where the Angels and Rangers have been scoreless. 0-0. Reed Detmers against Mackenzie Gore. Both pitched well. Rangers have had more scoring opportunities than the Angels have, but Texas has squandered those. They've been shut out on 8 hits. They've left 7 men on base, including the bases loaded in the 5th inning. Here's Ryan Watson in a scoreless game against Ezekiel Duran, who floats one towards shallow left center. In comes Siri. He is diving and he can't get it. The ball bounces by Trout. Duran's around to second base. He'll hold there as Siri laid out, came up empty. Trout unable to back up the play, and it's a bloop double for Duran.
As soon as that ball was hit, I was looking at Siri because of the angle, and we know that he has excellent sprint speed. Mike Trout, where he was positioned at, there was no way he was going to get to that ball, so he realized he was going to back up that play, and thank God he did. Half swing off the end, the ball's coming down, and Siri got in between him which direction he wanted to dive, and he had a shot at that baseball, but he didn't know how he's going to get down to get that ball in that angle, and tipped right off his glove.
Yeah, Siri largely got there as he dove forward and just couldn't make the play off his glove. Pointed up at the roof. I wonder if he had some trouble seeing it or forgot the lights on the way down. But after it redirected off his glove, it bounced past Trout, and Duran was not only able to get a hit, but a 2-base hit. So now the winning run at second. Here's Jake Berger. Fouled back. There's Watson, a Rule 5 pickup that's been on 3 different teams since being selected in the Rule 5 draft in the offseason. As long as you stay in the majors, you can go from team to team with those Rule 5 rules. And Watson now trying to stick it out with the Angels, who seem to like his arm.
Yeah, excellent sliding. Short slider, almost acts like a cutter at times.
This is his 5th appearance with the Angels. He has yet to allow an earned run. Duran is at second with no outs. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Berger. Seems the Angels would be saving Ben Joyce for only a save situation tonight. As I mentioned, still working his way back all the way from shoulder surgery, so they're being cautious with their usage of Joyce. That's why it's Watson here and not Joyce.
Like Berger tried to hit that ball to the right side. You have Grisham playing on top of him just in case he hits something short, and then maybe they could have an angle throw to the third base side, but that's a lot of real estate to the right side.
Berger has 73 RBIs this year. He leads the Rangers in that category. Fouls another one off behind home plate. It's still 1-2. Off that fastball upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Texas with 9 hits now in this game. They still have not scored. Another good chance here after a leadoff double in the bottom of the 9th. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A big out for Watson.
That slider, because he's able to shape it not only to be able to go east to west, but this one was perfectly thrown. Berger cannot recognize that spin, even though he's trying to hit that ball to the right side to advance Duran. Huge strikeout.
Now 1 out, and Nicky Lopez will bat for himself. Kind of looked back to the bench to see if the Rangers wanted to make a move with Jock Peterson, but Peterson now is in the on-deck circle, with Diaz due up next. Angels do have a lefty up in the bullpen, by the way. 1 out. Here's Lopez. It's popped up toward the left field side. It is slicing out of play. Seems like a lot of the last few innings have been just Skip Schumacher and Kurt Suzuki jockeying on when to put Jock Peterson in the game and how to keep him out of the game.
And if you're the Angels, you're really game planning of once you see Jock Peterson in the hole, you're the lefty in that bullpen, you have to hurry and be able to get ready as quickly as possible to combat it.
They've seldom used Sammy Peralta up in the bullpen. It's really just to equalize Peterson. Duran's at second with 1 out. Nicky Lopez is the man in the situation right now.
Inside.
1 ball, 1 strike. Lopez has had a decent year with the bat, hitting .263. Very good infielder. He's filled in as the Rangers have had injury problems throughout the year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Goes to the backstop. And Duran now with the winning run 90 feet away.
This will force the infield in. This will force the outfield to be able to have a play and a controllable fly ball. This changes everything just behind that ball getting to the backstop with less than 2 outs.
It's a wild pitch, and it also puts Lopez in a situation where his contact skills now come into play a lot more. He hardly ever strikes out. Lopez now with a chance to win the game. Duran at third, 1 out, 2 balls and 1 strike with the infield in. Showed bunt, and it's a strike to make it 2-2.
That might have been the best pitch that was elevated for him to be able to have some contact to at least get that ball to the outfield and challenge this outfield to be able to make a play at the plate.
Lopez is a good bunter. Elected not to put it down there. What would have been a safety squeeze try, looking to win the game for the Rangers. The count now 2-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes out.
That was all set up on how that fake bunt, and it took away a pitch because Watson had to land one in the strike zone. That pitch before, and that's just an excellent depth change slider down. Huge pitch.
Now the Rangers send Peterson to the plate, and now the Angels could just walk him if they want. You have Evan Carter batting behind Peterson. Peterson has absolutely ripped right-handed pitching this year, and he won't even get a chance here. So, why put him in the game there when you have 2 bases open?
This is the slider. You cannot ask for a better pitch with the infield in. An elevated slider up in the zone that he feels like he needs to throw for a strike. All of a sudden, you get the confidence, you fight back into the count, and now you're going to see the better slider. Got to be able to offer at that pitch to at least drive the ball.
I'm not sure if that was Lopez bunting on his own or if that was a sign. And here's Evan Carter swinging and missing on the first pitch. A cutter from Ryan Watson. Carter's had a bunt hit and a screaming double tonight. The Rangers trying to cash in on a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 9th, looking for the game's only run to win it. Carter takes a pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. All that about Jock Peterson just to see him get intentionally walked.
Right.
Corner infield is in case Carter bunts again. 1 ball, 1 strike with Duran at third, the winning run. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. It's way upstairs. Heineman had to go up to get it.
Heineman's got to be athletic right there, especially with Duran at third base.
Watson trying to pitch around this leadoff double plus a wild pitch that put Duran at third. 2 outs in the inning. No score. It's upstairs to Carter. Heineman wants to challenge. It's close. Powered by T-Mobile. That's a strike.
Excellent challenge.
Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
That's a big one. Goes from then 3-1 to 2-2.
Watson's been comfortable being able to rip this slider in situations like this down in the zone.
2 balls, 2 strikes coming to Carter. And it's in there. Strike 3 call. Carter wants to challenge. Watson thinks he's out of the inning, and I think so too. This challenge powered by T-Mobile, and is strike 3, and this game goes to extras. Back Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear, with Dontre Willis and Heidi Watney. I'm Wayne Randazzo. We're in Arlington, Texas, here in the DFW, as several games this year have made it 0-0 into extra innings, including this one in the top of the 10th. 0-0 as Denzer Guzman leads it off. New pitcher Tyler Alexander gets him to swing through a first pitch fastball. Maybe 24 pitches were too many for Jacob Latz to come back out and pitch in the 10th.
He's so important, especially the back end of it. You talked about the struggles of the bullpen, but if they have a lead in the 9th, got to save him for that.
Guzman fires one behind home plate, and it's 0-2. Jose Siri, the automatic runner at second base. The Angels now do have Ben Joyce up in their bullpen. What better weapon to have with a runner placed at second base than a guy who's going to strike everybody out a lot of the time?
You hope.
Fireballing Joyce, getting ready for the Angels. It's 0-2 on Guzman.
Oh no!
See if the Angels can give Joyce a distinct advantage by getting at least one run home here, as Danny Jansen now is in behind the plate for Texas. Rangers have used their entire bench.
Inside.
Maybe the Angels have too. We figure Wade Meckler is not available because he's still in concussion protocol. We don't really know about Nolan Shonowell, who left yesterday's game with side tightness. So the Rangers have not played many extra inning games this year. It's only their 5th. The Angels 4-9 in their extra inning ball games.
Oh no!
Full count now on Guzman.
Guzman, excellent job working his way back in the count. Taking off speed down, has been late on the fastball. Still trying to move the runner over or get him in any way he can.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Siri at second, placed there to start the inning. As Guzman rips one to left, it backs up Langford. It's over his head, and one hops the wall in left center. Siri comes home. Denzer Guzman strides into second. An RBI double breaks the scoreless tie and gets the Angels on the board.
He said, I'm not going to be late on this one. He worked his way back into the count. Got his foot down early and squared that baseball. Ooh, that's a short stride. You knew that baseball was trouble right off the bat. You look at Langford and that angle that he had to take. Siri's going to be able to score easily.
110 off the bat. That ball was punished.
It sounded like it.
So Denzer Guzman gives the Angels the first run of the game. Comes thanks to the ghost runner to start the inning. Now if the Angels can get this second man home, that's a huge advantage for them with Joyce getting ready. There's a bunt near home plate, and it's just foul.
Not easy to bunt Major League pitching, especially the way that these pitchers are able to manipulate the baseball and obviously high velocity. But in this situation, when you're giving yourself up, can't be any movement to first base.
The Astros did win tonight. They beat the A's 4-0. So it's an important game here for the Texas Rangers. It'll be 2 games out in the division. Wild card very clustered. Tigers lost tonight. The Orioles won. The Blue Jays lost. Twins are down in San Diego 6-2. Cleveland's winning at Colorado. So wild card competition is just going to be from night to night, varying on who wins and who loses.
I want to talk about scoreboard watching.
It's almost too early for the wild card to scoreboard watch because there's so many teams involved. 2-2. So you know a loss is going to hurt you. Rangers are down 1-0 now in the 10th inning. Count is full on low, 3-2. That is a foul ball. And strike 3. So Josh Lowe bunting with 2 strikes on a full count. Ends up striking out.
In that situation, looking at him and the way he was having trouble lefty on lefty, staying in there and running, I'd rather him swing it and try to get the ball on the ground to the right side to at least advance the runner Guzman. He did not look comfortable bunting at all.
Especially with Tyler Heineman coming up now. Ball was bunted twice essentially by Lowe. That's why it was a foul ball and strike 3. As Lowe was not allowed to swing the bat there. So it's Heineman batting for the first time today, a switch hitter.
Outside.
It's 2 balls and no strikes. It's right in there from Alexander. Angels a 1-0 lead. If you're the road team, you feel a lot more comfortable getting 2 instead of 1. Home team getting that man on second. There's a fly ball to right center. Carter is there, so is Nimmo, and it's Nimmo to make the catch. Guzman's tagging up. Nimmo's throw on the way, and Guzman able to advance.
Hopefully you can steal another run. If Guzman can get a jump, if pass ball gets to the wall. So this is smart base running. Guzman sees how the angle and challenges Nimmo.
An aggressive tag up by Guzman, but he does run well. And now he's at third with 2 outs. The batter Oswald Peraza getting on the mound here as the Rangers send their pitching coach Jordan Teagues out. Guzman crushed a double over the head of Wyatt Langford to start this inning, which brought Siri home. That's how the first run of this game was finally scored after all zeros through the first 9. Only the 3rd hit in this game for the Angels. Swing and a miss by Peraza.
Excellent changeup by Alexander. Peraza was looking to hunt that fastball early in the count.
Angels very rarely score for Reed Detmers, who ended up with a no decision tonight. There's a ball to dirt. Guzman held up.
Come out.
Go all the way back to June 27th. You see a good block here by Jansen. The Angels have not scored more than 1 run for Detmers while he's been on the mound. 5 times they scored no runs for him at all.
You gotta take him to Javier's. Look it up, man.
Oh.
2 balls and a strike on Peraza, but the Rangers haven't scored either. Kenzie Gore ended up with a no decision as well tonight.
Yep.
It's a strike on a foul tip. 2-2.
Ball's up.
Full count now on Peraza. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's popped up. Out of play. As Berger and catcher Jansen run out of room. Tyler Alexander trying to limit the Angels to just 1 here. So we see Jansen almost end up in that suite. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Alexander does hold the Angels to just the 1 run as the Ghost Runner scores. Now Texas will get their own in the bottom of the 10th. It was Denzer Guzman smashing a double to give the Angels a 1-0 lead. Standout scores tonight. Denzer Guzman, the only scorer so far in this game.
Yeah, Guzman getting on top of that fastball at the top of the zone. Key swing. Excellent job getting the halos on board.
The Angels getting the first run tonight. And the Texas Rangers now have the top of their order up against Ben Joyce, the fireballer in the game. And the first pitch, 101 miles an hour, misses for ball 1. Joyce in 6 games since coming back from a shoulder injury that kept him out since last April. He's not allowed a run. He's 3 for 3 in save chances. He's only given up 1 hit. Foscue trying to bunt.
Ooh.
Can you bunt a 98-mile-an-hour splinker?
That was a give-me-over splinker right there. Down perfectly at the zone. And so you want to tell someone to stay in that and really give themselves up. Tough matchup.
Evan Carter with good speed at second base for Texas. Foscue, it's a fly ball to right. Josh Lowe backs up. This should be deep enough to move Carter. Lowe makes the catch. Carter heads for third, and the throw comes in just a bit late.
Excellent job by Foscue to be able to get on top of that. And obviously Joyce is supplying enough power. This with the velocity.
So 1 out. And now it's Corey Seager. Seager has 2 hits tonight as the Angels bring their infield in. Swing and a miss on a big fastball. 103 from Joyce.
Ooh, went up a gear.
Balls and a strike. Joyce has thrown now the 26 fastest pitches by an Angels pitcher all year. He's only been back a couple of weeks. Swing and a miss. 0-2. The Rangers just 2 for 32 with runners in scoring position on this homestand. Desperate just to get 1 run home here in the bottom of the 10th with the automatic runner placed at second. Now with Carter at third, the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Seager.
103 and a half. Seager's trying to get himself locked in early to gear up to get on top of that velocity.
Tying run, Carter at third, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Seager. Swing and a miss. Joyce struck him out.
The late life Wayne at the end, at the top of the zone. Very difficult with that long a swing to get on top of that and barrel that baseball at that velocity at 101. Even when you know it's coming.
So now 2 outs. Carter still at third, and the batter is Langford. Swing and a miss. Touching 99 that time. Joyce has been routinely in triple digits tonight, and every game he's pitched so far this season. It's incredible to see him throw this hard after having shoulder surgery. Only his 7th game back. No balls and a strike. That's in there. It's 0-2.
See, it's not only the velocity. That is well thrown on the edges. There's nothing you can do about that, especially if you're a hitter trying to keep that fastball fair. That's a tough ask from anybody in baseball.
That was all over the strike zone. Rangers lose their last challenge, and they're 1 strike away from losing the game. Texas has just not been able to hit with men in scoring position during this homestand. Today 1 for 9 on a bunt hit. Langford bobs one over first. That's a fair ball. A base hit ties the game. Langford heads for second. It's a 2-out, 2-strike RBI double, and it's 1-1.
Excellent job by Langford to shorten up that swing. He knew at that velocity he wasn't going to be able to get on top of that. It beats him to the spot. Saw the fastball, the pitch before inner half. He knew he had to shorten that swing, and he gives a big smile and says, I'll take that. That's a line drive in the book. We need every hit, every ball game moving out. And Joyce like, oh.
At the last possible moment, the Texas Rangers finally get one to fall their way. Their 10th hit of the game brings home the first run. With 2 outs and 2 strikes, Wyatt Langford dumps in a double, and now it's Duran. As he lines one, Guzman stops it, throw to second, off the glove of Peraza. Here comes Langford, the winning run scores, and the Rangers steal one from the Angels.
The young man Guzman has been making all the right decisions at the hot corner all day long. Gets caught in between and is indecisive with that throw to second. Ball game.
Just like that, the Rangers snatch away a possible devastating defeat and turn it into an exhilarating, important win. Wyatt Langford, a 2-strike, 2-out double, tied it. And on a throwing error from Denzer Guzman, who gave the Angels the lead in the top of the 10th, Langford scores the winning run. And of course, the solution right in the middle of it.
He has to be right in the middle of it. We talked about it in the open. He had the factor. He got a couple hits. And a big play right there for them to win a ball game. Awesome game.
It's our Capital One walk-off. It's an infield hit for Duran. And an error on Guzman to end the game. Capital One donating $1,000 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation for every walk-off this year. Like Nimmo was going to beat that throw at second anyway.
But this is why you have to make the team with the ball in play to force the opposition in key times to make plays. And again, indecisive at the critical time, costing the ball game.
Ends up as the 4th hit for Duran in this game. And the Rangers scored 2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th after Ben Joyce was looking unhittable. Struck out Corey Seager. And had 2 strikes on Langford before Texas pulled off the walk-off. The solution, Ezekiel Duran with Heidi Watney.
Yes, with Ezekiel Duran, you said, why me? You're the solution. You should know that. You put the ball in play. Ben Joyce, so difficult to get a hit off of. What were you looking for there?
I'm not going to throw it so hard. I'm just trying to be simple and put the ball in play.
What about Wyatt Langford before you, the at-bat he had?
That was amazing. That was amazing. He taking good pitch, and he trying to put in the ball in play too, and he did the job.
What is it about this squad? You guys have been playing 500 ball all year. You have 5 weeks now to go on a run, get to the postseason. What do you need to do?
Keep playing hard and keep winning games.
What about the job Mackenzie Gore did for you guys?
He was doing good today, and he's working a lot too, and he's making adjustment every single pitch, and we're happy.
You have been so hot offensively, especially here at home. What is it about this ballpark?
I mean, I'm playing hard every single day, and I'm just trying to be simple. I'm putting everything in God's hands and having fun.
And you were the solution tonight. Thank you so much, Ezekiel.
Thank you.
Back to you, Wayne.
Now the solution strikes again, and the Rangers steal one away at the finish line. 2-1 the final score in 10 innings tonight. A big win for Texas. They stay a game back in the AL West. They come from behind at the very end to beat the Angels. We'll wrap it up. Back here at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, as we take a look at our pregame predictions courtesy of MGM. Well, Reed Detmers didn't quite get the strikeouts, And the runs, well, that was under. That should have been an X right there on the runs, shouldn't it? Only 3 runs in this game.
Graphics.
10 innings here in Texas. There were no runs until the 10th inning, and the Angels pushed one across on a double by Denzer Guzman. And the Rangers, with 2 outs down to their final strike, somehow snatch away the win.
You know, going up against one of the best arms in all of baseball, and Joyce seemed like he was unhittable. The ability of Langford and Duran to be able to short up their bats, be compact with their swing, and just put the ball in play was absolutely everything. That type of win tonight could really get an offense going and believing. But it started on the mound, and you hear me say this all the time, Wayne. It starts and ends on the mound. I thought Gordon went toe-to-toe with Detmers as far as the mound presence, the pitch selection, everything you wanted as advertised, being able to get the strikes out at the top of the zone as well as the bottom of the zone. But also, if you look at this team and how they had chances to get in and win, this is how I like. Play small ball. Move around runners, set guys up, but on both sides defensively, making key plays and making key pitches. You can feel this seesaw battle of energy going back and forth, back and forth. And so now we're in the 10th. We feel like we're going to be there all day. Durant finally gets the ball on top of the zone. He's been missing it all day long, and all of a sudden it feels like the Halos are going to be once again steal another important ball game within the division. But then Langford, how do you cover that pitch? He's going to look at that iPad all night long and can't believe that he's able to hit that pitch and keep it fair with 1 strike left. And then, of course, the solution right there. And of course, he's in the middle of it. Forces a tough play. Ball game, everybody, valet park and tip your waitresses. We're done.
Now, maybe Denzer Guzman had a better chance at first than at second there. Our Blue Moon cap off the night, but either way, Guzman throwing that ball to second base ends up going off the glove of Peraza, and that's how the Rangers win the game.
I think he got caught in between because obviously he's been diving all day. The play is behind him, whether it's second base or first base. You can see he dives, he tries to make a decision to go to the shorter route, and as soon as he looks up, he realizes that the runner is already on top, sliding, pulls that throw into the outfield. And even if he made that throw, Wayne, I think he was going to be in trouble. That's a situation where you're trying to be heroic. The best play for him, and he's going to learn, you got to eat that. You just got to eat that play. But, hey, that's a tough ball game because he was absolutely outstanding at the hot corner all day, but it's a learning lesson for the young man at third base.
And the Rangers solved the fireballer Ben Joyce there at the end, getting those 2 runs, both unearned runs, in the bottom of the 10th inning to beat the Angels. A huge win for Texas, 2-1 here tonight. Friday Night Baseball back next week with another doubleheader, a big game in the Bronx. The Red Sox and Yankees square off for the first time since Boston swept New York back in June at Fenway. Plus the Mariners and Blue Jays in an ALCS rematch with both teams trying to make the wild card. Pre-game coverage will emanate live from Yankee Stadium beginning at 6:30 Eastern next Friday night. For other scores, highlights, and the latest news from around MLB, check out the Sports tab in the Apple News app. For Dr. Willis, Heidi Watney, and our great crew, I'm Wayne Randazzo. We say goodnight from Texas, where the Rangers defeat the Angels 2-1 in 10 innings. We'll talk to you again next week.